Jackson's
Hey, you ready?
Yeah, we're ready.
101.5 FM.
Here we go.
Good evening and welcome to Walter Gilzer Stadium on the campus of Trenton Peabody High School. My name's Dan Reaves, along with Seabass, Lee Hayes, Drew Magruder, Richard, the narrator, Barber's at his sideline. Paul Schulze, Lawson Man, Worthy Road Studios, where you can watch tonight's game as we've gone live on digital TV at WNWS.com. And you can also watch the game on Facebook tonight. Facebook Live, Facebook.com/News Talk 1015. You can watch the game there as well. And we also thank our friends over in Brownsville, Michael Osborne, watching things over there for us to make sure everything is good to go. And Michael, we appreciate you tremendously as well. And Hardy, Martin, and Owens, attorneys at law, Bradley Owens and Company, 234-2400, 234-2400. Hardy, Martin, and Owens in Jackson helping bring you this game. We think Bradley Owens, Hardy, Martin, and Owens, attorneys at law in Jackson. And here we got just a few minutes here to run through a few more games.
All right.
So let's do that, and then we'll focus on Peabody and Trinity Christian Academy. Looking over this bracket, the Dyersburg-Crockett winner will play the winner of Haywood and Ripley. Haywood wins that one big tonight on the carpet at Jackson Christian School. Jackson Northside, Montgomery Central winner will host next week the winner of Springfield and Jackson Southside. The Hawks, a magical year. 10-1 after that first round. I mean, it was a squeaker. 16-14, 2-point win over Creekwood last week. That was a tough opponent. Even tougher tonight. Springfield at 9-2, hosting 10-1 Jackson Southside.
Yeah, this will take the Hawks' best effort this year. There's no question. Springfield with the experience. They got a great passing game, great position players, skill position players. It's going to take a yeoman's effort, and this Southside offense hasn't been clicking all that well. Defensively, they're solid. They're going to need it. Man, I want to take the Hawks, but I got to go Springfield here.
Lee, who wins that one?
I'm going to go with Springfield. Let me ask you guys a question. We've seen the field here. What about these other fields, local games with local participants? What kind of shape of the field's in? What effect is that going to have on those games?
Well, Jackson Christian School for the Haywood game, they're on the carpet. That'll be nice. At North Side, we've seen that field, we've seen it nice, but we've seen it when it takes a lot of rain. Be kind of iffy. I haven't seen the field this week. Have you?
I have not, but I'll tell you, those fields got chewed up. You look, I don't know if you got a chance to see the South Side, some of the pictures of the South Side game.
Yeah.
It was a big trough is what it was at the end of the night.
Who wins that one, Lee? South Side and on the road is
I'm going to go with Southside just because they're the local team and I know nothing about Springfield, but I'm probably, we'll go with Southside.
That's a politician right there.
Springfield eliminated Southside last year by 1 point in Jackson and played for the state championship after knocking off Haywood the following week.
Lee said that no one in Springfield can vote for him, so he's going to take Southside. Narrett, who wins that with Southside in a road, a tough assignment at Springfield?
Like Bass just said, Springfield come in and beat Southside last year in a game Southside could have won and went on to play Haywood County. And then for the life of me, I'll never understand how Springfield beat Haywood County. But and Springfield did it last year at Southside. They got them at home this year. I think Springfield wins the football game.
Let's go to AAA for a moment. Just down the road from us in Milan at Johnny Hill Stadium at South Gibson, 6-5. Playing at Milan, the Bulldogs are 7-4. Those two teams met in Week 10 of the regular season. In Medina, Milan took a 2-touchdown lead. South Gibson stormed from behind in the second half, had the lead, but Milan, a late touchdown, won it 26-21. Controversy, though, on a fourth down play. They kept that game-winning drive alive. There was a fumble that looked evidence to everyone, including on videotape, except the officials. South Gibson recovered it. Essentially, that would have sealed the deal for South Gibson. But Milan was given another chance by the officials, and they capitalized and won the game 26-21. South Gibson has never beat Milan in Medina, but they have beaten them at Johnny Hill Stadium. Who wins tonight?
Boy, and yes, that was absolutely a fumble in that game. That's not even up for debate. But in this one here, two things, man. Coach Stidham, the job he's done replacing as many players as he did. And then for Coach Teddy Pettigrew, who started out slowly, having to replace a legend. I think he's done a great job of turning that thing around and getting that ship pointed in the right direction. This should be a great one-possession game once again. I'm going with the road team this time in a very close one, 27-23 South Gibson.
What do you think, Lee? South Gibson at Milan.
Congratulations to Coach Teddy Pettigrew, another one of those coaches, got their first playoff win last week. And Milan has got some injuries with some skill positions that they've really got to worry about this week and down the road if they make it. But I'm going to go with Milan because they're at home. They've got outstanding young classes, and now they've got a full season under their belts. I'm going to go with the Bulldogs at home.
I think is it Williamson, a running back, one of those young guys?
Orlando Williamson
is out.
Correct.
With that injury lay that you're talking about. The winner of that will play host to the winner of Covington and McNary. Covington 11-0. McNary's had a great year. They're 9-2. They won big on the road last week at Raleigh, Egypt. Who wins that one?
Boy, you know, I'm going to go with the Pharaohs here in a close football game. It's always a tough venture when you head that direction. Raleigh Egypt last year, that running game was so solid. It's still pretty darn good this year. I'm going to go with Raleigh Egypt here.
Who wins it, narrator? Is Raleigh Egypt.
I thought you said Raleigh Egypt. I'm sorry.
No, McNary beat Raleigh Egypt last week.
Okay.
McNary's playing at Covington tonight.
Yes, sorry. That's a rematch of a game that was 42-7 in McNary earlier on in the season. McNary's got a big defensive line that is stout and solid against the run, but I got to go with the Covington Chargers here, still undefeated, haven't played their best football. I think that happens tonight.
Who wins it, narrator? Covington and McNary Central.
I want to go back just one game to Covington South Gibson and Milan. I didn't weigh in on that. The thing that jumps out to me is that South Gibson-Covington game, though, how close that game was and how tough and out South Gibson can be. One, I'm going to take South Gibson in the Milan-South Gibson game and Covington all the way.
Well, narrator said he's taking Milan in that game. Okay.
No, I said South Gibson.
Oh, South Gibson. Yeah. Pardon me. I was about to get into Raleigh Egypt.
Me too.
Trying to get a look here is coming on the field at the Tide Walk with an American flag out in front. The Peabody Golden Tide. This is a tradition. The Tide Walk is the captains for Trinity Christian gathering out there near the 50-yard line. We're just about 4 minutes away from kickoff here. A game that will determine which one of these teams will take the next step and move to the third round of the state playoffs. Peabody, one of the favorites to win it all this year in Class 2A. They blew Trinity out just a few weeks ago in Jackson. Matt Spurgeon is back, however, the quarterback for Trinity that missed virtually the entire season. Yeah. He's back. He's starting tonight. Will that make enough difference for Trinity to stay in the game tonight with Peabody?
You know, I don't think so, Danny. I think one of the things that really hurts Trinity tonight are these field conditions. And the reason that I say that, you heard Coach Jacob reference Kevin Davis, world-class speed, and he absolutely has that, no question about it. It's going to be very difficult to showcase that with the conditions like he's going to be going in tonight. And they need a monster game out of him.
Narrator?
Well, you hear coaches say it's tough to beat a team twice in one season, but guys, Peabody's just got too many weapons, and the way that last game went has to be something psychological for TCA. Obviously, Kevin Davis can make a big impact on this football game, but I've got to go with Peabody.
So it's Peabody and it's Trinity Christian Academy, just so moments away from kickoff. We'll head out to the middle of the field for the coin toss, but View, I mean, these two teams tonight, so much on the line. Right now, the Trinity crowd is, well, it's hopefully it's filtering in late. Not many people over there on the Trinity side.
Well, if they don't show up, they can always watch us on Facebook Live and also right here listen to us on Jackson's News Talk 101.5. So, TCA fans, if you weren't able to get out tonight, you don't want to brave the cold, but you still want to watch your Lions play tonight, Here we are, and you can watch this in this crystal clear perfection of a picture that Worthy Road Studio is producing over here. You can check that out at WNWS.com.
Let's go down to the narrator and the huddle for the coin toss tonight to see who has the football first. Here's the narrator.
Guys, Pat Sanford, 30 years in high school football's got the white hat tonight. Let's step in.
Okay. You control your team and the tempers on your team. All you guys, you'll do the same over here, okay? Yes, sir. Got it? All right. Good sportsmanship, okay? Both teams. If you got a problem, come to us in a respectful-like manner, and we'll talk to you, okay? But if you don't come in a respectful manner, probably not going to talk. Okay? All right. Any questions? All right. That's tails. It's a hat. Heads is the flag. tails, and heads. If I drop it, we'll flip it again. What do you call it? He called what? All right. He called heads? What is it? It is heads. It is heads. Okay. You want to defer? Yes, sir. Stay right where you are.
There you are, fellas. TCA just won the toss. They wanted to defer to the second half.
Well, so there you go. Going to put that high-octane Peabody offense on the field to start things tonight. The second round of the TWS AA State Playoffs. From Walter Kilser Stadium in Trenton, Tennessee, Drew Magruder, been the voice of the Tide all season long. He's with us tonight as well. Drew, what do you make of this game? You called the first matchup in Jackson and Peabody. This game was over by the end of the first quarter.
And I think there might be much of the same. Might be much of the same result. Unless Peabody's, unless the Lions, Sturgis, unless he has a big game. That quarterback wasn't playing until late in the second half. The last time we played the Lions, I don't know if he'll make much of a difference this time, but watch out for Hammonds, number 7, and of course number 8 and number 4 of Peabody, Dixon and Wilkerson.
They are very talented.
Oh yes, and Bogus is a triple threat. Also Ben Franks, and one of the most accurate field goal kickers, number 19. He was up to 33 extra points in a row before he missed.
Boy, what a season. This team is so well coached, too. Drew, you put all that together, and you got the makings of a team.
And
with
football is smart.
That's
this
right.
team is very smart football-wise.
With sights set on a state championship here in Trenton. And here come the Tide out of that south end zone. Just a minute. Trinity's have gone black pants now. They tricked me, Bew. That's the Trinity Christian Academy Lions out of the south end zone onto the field here at Walter Kilser Stadium. Trinity on the year, and they played well. I mean, they've had to adjust from injuries. Matt Spurgeon, as we told you, the quarterback has missed the entire regular season. Virtually got in a little bit late, but he's back tonight, and he'll be starting tonight, and that should give the Trinity Christian Academy Lions a lot of confidence to have Matt Spurgeon back under center. And here come the Tide out of the north end zone with the American flag leading the way. Peabody, ranked number 1 this season, till they were upset by Gibson County. But Peabody on the year, 10-1. They won 42-0 in the first round of the state playoffs. Trinity with a record of 6-5. They won on the road at Memphis Mitchell last week to arrive here in Trenton and earn a rematch with the Tide.
Yeah, it should be a great game, no question about it. And one of the biggest things about Spurgeon coming back is how it opens up Kevin Davis offensively. He becomes so much more of a versatile threat.
That's one of the big items tonight, is that not only is Spurgeon back, but you also have Kevin Davis in his natural position, right? That could be a big deal there. Back deep for Peabody, Desmond Tyler and Noah Holbrook. Back deep for the Tide. Kicking off for Peabody is Joel Lopez. Lopez says he's ready. The officials say, okay. And Lopez, Joe Meat Leather, we're underway here in Trenton, Tennessee. It's a line drive going to be fielded at the 5 to the 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. Bouncing outside the numbers, 40, 45 to midfield. And finally, ushered out of bounds, but not before he's into Trinity territory at the 44-yard line on the return for Peabody, and he nearly took that one all the way to the house. For Peabody on the return, Noah Holbrook and Bass. He fielded that one with both hands above his head, that line drive. Made a great catch on it, and then nearly brought it to the house.
Yeah, massive hole straight up the middle of TCA's kickoff coverage, but it was the only person in this city who could have hawked him down. Kevin Davis saving the touchdown.
Davis did it. Well, Cooper Bogus, now a junior, the quarterback for the Tide, and he's a really good one. On the ground on first down, and it's a fumble, and Trinity's got it. Oh boy, big play, and it didn't take long. On the recovery, it's number 26, and these rosters are not very good, There's not a 26 on the roster, but a big play here early. The fumble recovered by Trinity Christian Academy on the first play of the game.
Boy, just an A-gap read right there that time, and it looked like number 53 for Trinity Christian, Eli Moore, stuffing him in the A-gap, forcing that fumble.
Well, narrated a big play. First play from scrimmage. Trinity has it right at midfield.
Yeah, and you would think for TCA to win this game, based on how they played last time, TCA needs a couple of those turnovers.
Back under center is Matt Spurgeon instead of Kyle. Yeah, we got some stoppage. You've seen every game this year, Lee. Peabody protected the football. How have they done this year?
Well, they've done well, and that's a role reversal. Peabody's been very good in the takeaway department, and that time sets TCA up with that fumble recovery and that standing field position. That's one thing that TCA is going to have to do is protect the ball. In each of the 2 games that they played the last 2 years, they've had a lot of turnovers.
It's a illegal procedure on Trinity to start things. They'll move from back 5 yards at their own 46. They'll sweep it on the ground, looking for the edge, far side of the field. Not going to get there. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all on first down. For Trinity is Riley Graves trying to bounce it outside, but the speed of the Peabody defense, nothing out there.
Yeah, jet sweep motion that time, sent out to the wide side, and it was number 6, Jasper Albee, who forced it outside, and then a beautiful angle by Cortland Wade comes in and cleans it up.
Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Shane Jacobs talked about having West Tennessee speed. That's a pretty speedy defense right there, guys.
Second down. I sent back to the line of scrimmage. Second and 20 from their own 40. Here's Trinity. Nothing. Slammed at the line of scrimmage. First carry of the night for Kevin Davis. Unsuccessful. Peabody's defensive line whipped that front wall of Trinity once again, Bill.
And one thing that stuck out to me in the couple of times we've seen Trinity this year is their speed of that that defensive line. Bryce Franks that time absolutely whipping his man in the A-gap.
Wilkins, a linebacker, also lead in on that play.
Well, a very strong defense. We're going to have a timeout, but Peabody's only allowing 5 points per ball game, 3 points at home. They've played 44 quarters this season. They've only allowed their opponents to score in 8 of those quarters and only twice in 1 quarter of 44 quarters this season.
We talk about that high-octane offense, but that defense, oh boy. It was offsides, 7 shutouts this year. Offsides on Peabody. That'll give Trinity 5 yards. So it's third down and 15. Trinity scrimmaging from the Lion 46-yard line. Spurgeon out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off. Now he's going to throw out of that handoff, and it is incomplete. It's broken up at the 35-yard line. A beautiful defensive play by the tie defensive back Parks is playing quarterback. That pass was kind of a wounded duck pass, but it was going to find its man. But Parks broke it up the last moment.
Yeah, you talk about staying home, being disciplined. Quay Parks doing just that. And, maybe if Davis is able to plant and throw that ball, he gets it over the top of the defense that time. But well executed and well read by Trenton's defense.
After the turnover, Trinity goes in reverse. It's fourth down and 15 with 10 minutes and 3 seconds left in the first quarter. We're scoreless, and Trinity set to punt. High, hanging punt, fair catch is asked for and made at the 21-yard line by Eli Hammonds, the junior. So Peabody will have the ball for the second time tonight. Lee, the first time they had it offensively, 1 play, and they coughed it up.
Well, and that's one thing that you can't afford to do at this point in the season is turnovers. We talk about the skill position players of this Peabody team, but it doesn't matter how good you are. You've got to keep possession of the ball. Peabody starting back at the 20-yard line for their second drive, and they've got to protect the ball.
This game presented by Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness of Trenton, proud supporters of the Golden Tide. So Peabody will start this drive much differently than their first one. First one was at midfield. This is at their own 20. On first down, they'll work left side and nothing there. Tackled in the backfield. That's going to be a loss of yardage. Albert got the carry, and Trinity defense throwing for a loss.
Oh, I'll tell you what, slanting perfectly, just a little A-gap delay that time, and 3 different lines were right there, really getting off that ball.
Let's go down to the sideline. Here's Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, a real important guy for this TCA defense is Addison Coleman, who's been one of the leading tacklers in West Tennessee over the last 2 years. He's going to have to carry some weight with this TCA defense.
The loss is 2, back to the 19. Back to the ground they go, straight ahead from the 19, crossing the 20. center of the field out to the 22-yard line. It's a gain of 3. It'll bring up 3rd down and long.
It was a nice read that time by Bogus. He saw he's got 2 men pulling from the left side. Both make their block and sticks it right behind them, shooting in for about a 7-yard gain.
3rd down and 7 coming up here for the Tide. 8:55 left. We're in quarter number 1. Peabody works from left to right here. In the first quarter, Bogus goes shotgun for the Tide on 3rd down and 7 from the Tide 23. Bogus rolls right, fires downfield, and this one is incomplete, nearly intercepted at the 30-yard line. On the coverage for Trinity was Lane Lambert. That one was nearly picked off.
Yeah, and great coverage that time by TCA. Had receivers on 3 different levels, and every one of them blanketed.
Rolling to your right is a left-handed quarterback. Lee could be tough to throw.
Well, and it's tough also on this field rolling. It's tough to get your footing up under it from the hash marks to the sideline. It's very soft there.
So Peabody going to have to punt it away, and the very speedy Kevin Davis standing in midfield awaiting the punt. Line drive punt. Davis going to let it hit. Now scoop it up at the 41, to the 45, to the 50, into Peabody territory, and scampering out of bounds at the Tide 45-yard line is Davis. He brings it back 15 yards. And Trinity, after taking over inside territory at the 49 on their first drive, they went in reverse. Now they'll start at the Peabody 45-yard line with their second drive of the night.
And one thing you do on that coverage, you say, whatever happens, you are not to let 7 get the edge. I don't care where you have to get him, but he's not going around you.
8:23 left in the first quarter. We're scoreless, and Lee, no one's recorded a first down so far.
Well, it's been a defensive struggle, and you're right, Seabass. They got to stop number 7. He's the bread and butter of this TCA offense.
There he is, and he's tackled in the backfield as Spurgeon hands it off to Kevin Davis, and he goes down in the backfield.
Yeah, backside pursuit by Eubanks, taking the perfect angle right down the line of scrimmage, catching Davis from behind.
One thing we've noticed is that when Davis is in the backfield, he's going to touch the ball 90% of the time. So Peabody's defense is aware of that also, but they get great use out of number 7.
He's not in the backfield this time. Spurgeon goes shotgun on 2nd down and 13. The loss was 3 yards. 7:43 left in quarter number 1. We're scoreless. Trinity's second possession of the game. Spurgeon fires it out into flat, incomplete. Looking for his wide receiver, Lane Lambert, trying to set up a wide receiver screen. We head to the sideline, and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, I think we kind of seeing what some of the TCA game plan is. It seems like every snap they're going deep into the play clock, trying to shorten this game up a little bit, not have that Peabody offense on the field so much.
Well, I flip-flopped that wide receiver screen there and let Davis be the receiver. That was strange.
3rd down and 13. Here's Spurgeon out of the shotgun, back to throw. Launches deep down the far sideline and overshoots everyone, incomplete. So Trinity goes 3 and out of their second possession, same as their first. 7:29 remaining in the first quarter. Neither team yet recording a first down here at the second round of the state playoffs. Peabody and Trinity Christian Academy.
Well, and Spurgeon saw single coverage that time on the go route, so I don't mind it, but you got to give your receiver an opportunity to run the pattern and beat his man.
So Trinity going to punt it away for the second time tonight. Heavy rush, just got it out of there, but it's a gorgeous punt that's going to drive Hammonds all the way back inside the 15-yard line. He'll make the fair catch at the 10, and that's where Peabody will take over first down and 10. And Lee, here in the first quarter, the entire game has been played on Peabody's side of the field.
Well, it has, and Peabody's not been able to flip the field. We're going to call Desmond Tyler's name at some point during the night from a special teams play or a big play. Hammond's there, deep man, excellent hands. Did a nice job there getting that ball at the 10-yard line because TCA had a very good chance of downing that ball inside the 5 if he didn't.
I don't know how Tyler didn't take the ball off the foot of the punter that time.
Agreed.
Game brought to you in part by Raspberry Tower and Service Center, a proud supporter of the Tide. On first down on the ground, they work right side from the 10 out to the 11, and that's about all, a gain of a yard at first down. Let's go down to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Hey, guys, I think you can certainly we weren't at that first Peabody TCA game. We know how it went and with the turnovers and the big jumping out to the big lead. But you kind of get the feel here that this TCA defense is up to the challenge.
Feels different. Celine, you were there first time around. This game feel different to you?
Peabody's offense gashed TCA in the first game to 600 yards of offense, and it's a completely different ball game so far tonight.
Second and 10. Vargas going to keep it. Road 15, 20, 25, 30. Down the near hash mark to the 35 and all the way out to the 40-yard line. Cooper Vargas rips off 20 yards. And a huge I-group first down for the Tide, and that's the first down of the ball game.
Oh, boy, and he really read that correctly. He needed one block, his guard pulled in to pick it up, and he made it, and he sealed him down. But one of the things that's happening other than that play for Trenton Peabody is they pull their linemen on most plays, and these field conditions are making it very hard for them to get out of their stance and pull.
Vargas had to make one man miss. That was Goodwin, and he did. First and 10 at the 40. On the ground again, nothing. Hammered at the line of scrimmage and dumped right there. On the carry for Peabody, Wilkins. And Wilkins not accustomed to being matched at the line of scrimmage.
No, he's really not. A lot of quickness, and if he gets to the edge, he's gone. But a nice job there, TCA defense. And you talked about Addison Coleman. He's going to be all over the field tonight. He's the bell cow of this TCA defense, and he's going to make some plays. You're going to hear his name a lot.
Yeah, Coleman, the mic really stuffed the line of scrimmage that time.
Coleman on that tackle. Second down at 10. Peabody at their own 40. Vargas going to keep it again. Work it left side. He's met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down for no gain. So after a 20-yard run for Peabody to record the game's first down, 2 plays, no yardage. It's 3rd and 10 for the Tide from their own 40-yard line with 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. Quarter number 1. We're scoreless here at Walter Kilzer Stadium, Trinity Christian and Peabody.
Yeah, 52 set that time, and it was Addison Coleman once again in that 3-hole.
3rd down and 10. Vargas goes shotgun with 2 wide receivers, top of the screen. Here's Vargas back to throw. Launches deep down the field, and this pass is broken up and incomplete near the 20. It was intended for Noah Holbrook. Broke it up beautifully at the last moment. Both these teams, Bass and the secondary, playing well here in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's a great pattern and great coverage that time. And I think maybe, if you look at it, Holbrook maybe jumps just a skosh too early. But he may have had no choice. That's actually great inside positioning by Kevin Davis all the way around.
That was just a great defensive play, Lee.
And he's going to run step for step with Noah Holbrook. Not many people in this area can do it, but we know Davis can.
Davis is quite an athlete for Trinity. So from their own 40, Peabody going to have to punt the ball away. It's a line drive punt, going to hit near the 30, and Trinity just going to move away from it and let it roll to the 24, and it'll die right there with 4:37 left in the first quarter here at Walter Kilzer Stadium. We're scoreless, and Trinity will take over for their 3rd possession of the first quarter. This game brought to you in part by Hickerson Auto. Hickerson Automotive Group, home of the Napa Legend Batteries, Trenton's Napa Auto Parts Store. Also presented by our friends over at the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. By Eddie's Pharmacy, serving Trenton and the Trenton area for 35 years.
Danny, real quickly, this just in off the Old Town Spaghetti Store text line. 7-0, North Side is up.
But them Indians, north side of an early lead.
Indians.
Also, Phelan Estes Insurance Agency, your independent insurance dealer of Trenton, Phelan Estes. So here's Trinity with their 3rd possession of the game. Yet to record a first down against this tough Peabody defense. But Peabody has flipped the field. TCA takes over from the own 15. Here's Spurgeon out of the shotgun. He'll hand it off. Straight ahead they go, and nothing there. They'll lose a yard as we hit the sideline. And Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, you might have just saw Addison Coleman go down. No whistle blew. He actually fell on top of some Tide players and continued to play before they finally took him down. No gain.
So no gain on first down for Trinity. Trinity comes out with trips to the top of the screen. 1 running back set. Spurgeon out of his shotgun. 2nd down and 10 from their own 15. Here's Spurgeon back to throw. Pump fake. Here's the pressure. Spurgeon will run. Has the 15. Bouncing outside the number to the 20. And is ushered out of bounds near the 22-yard line. Spurgeon will have right at 8 yards. And that'll bring up third down and manageable as Matt Spurgeon didn't have anything downfield to, but he spotted some room to his left and picks up 8.
Yeah, just squeezes through right off left tackle that time. But I'll tell you what, I was very impressed with Dixon's closing speed in that angle. He prevented the first down.
Third down and 2. Trinity from their own 22. Spurgeon goes shotgun with one running back and 3 wide receivers top of the screen. Spurgeon fires across the middle. It's a crossing pattern, completes at the 27-yard line. That's going to be enough for a first down. On the reception, Riley Graves, and Graves had a lot more room than he thought, He just caught the ball and hit the deck. If he'd have kept going, he'd have picked up another 5-10 yards.
Yeah, just a little quick slant from the right slot, very well diagnosed, and there was no doubt about who Spurgeon was looking for. There was no press coverage that time. They took advantage of it.
The first down of the game for Trinity. First and 10 from their own 27. And we got whistles. Illegal procedure on Trinity. That'll push him back 5 yards and lead with 2:42. Clock is running here. They got to put some time on the clock. Keep an eye on that. That clock is moving, and Lee shouldn't be moving right now. I don't believe.
No, it shouldn't be.
After that
Shouldn't
penalty.
be, but you're correct. That's about 17 seconds off the clock that is running.
So first and 15, back of the Trinity 23. They'll keep it on the ground, working right side, and no gain. It'll be second down and 15. Lee, it's early in the game, and sometimes that goes unnoticed unless it happens late in a close game. But keep an eye on that. You're right, about 20 seconds ticked off that clock.
Well, and I'm sure these officials were probably from the Memphis Association, since TCA uses Southwest and Peabody uses Northwest.
And guys, just as you were talking about the clock running, the headlinesman was talking to the timekeeper. Nobody mentioned it.
Second and 14. Spurgeon back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Steps up. Got a man wide open. It's complete on the far sideline. A diving catch on a second down at 14. That's a gain of 18 and a first down for Trinity. That's a Hughes I group first down as Mitch Sins come wide open, and Spurgeon spotted him and hit him bash for a first down.
Well, great job of the offensive line, first of all, giving Spurgeon the time, but Spurgeon keeping his eyes downfield. He sees Sisk get the separation. Defender went past him, turns from the sticks and gets the first.
Minute 33 left in the first quarter. We're scoreless, and Trinity with a fresh set of downs at the Lion 44. To the ground again. They work right side with some room. From the 44 out to midfield along the far hash mark and into Peabody territory before he's cut down at the tied 48-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9 yards at first down. The big running back, Addison Coleman, 6 feet, 215. He also plays a pretty good linebacker as well.
Well, he's just solid muscle, and he just run hard. That's sheer want-to right there. There wasn't a big hole on the right side of that offensive line.
Officially, it's a gain of 2 yards, or make it 8 yards at first down. It's second down and 2. Trinity at the Peabody 48. Here's Spurgeon back to throw. Plenty of time. Firing across the middle, and it's complete at the tied 30-yard line and going down at the 30. On the reception was Riley Graves. Lee, these Lion receivers are getting wide open in their zone defense.
They are getting wide open, but give that offensive line a lot of credit. They're giving Spurgeon a lot of time to find these receivers.
And Spurgeon completely froze those safeties. He was completely looking away from Rafe the whole time.
There's a double pass they're setting up. They'll fire back across the field for the quarterback Spurgeon. He catches it behind the line of scrimmage. Now has some room to the 30, to the 25. He'll go inside the 25, down the far sideline near the 21-yard line. That'll be a gain of around 8. But there's some laundry on the field view. Markers, multiple markers come in around the 27-yard line. That looks like it may be a block in the back on Trinity. We'll just wait and see.
We'll have to see, boy.
I think they're going to call hitting a defenseless player. Maybe called him from the side.
Well, here's the official. We'll see.
This could even be a hold, guys.
Blocking it back on Trinity. It's going to be a spot foul. We hit the sideline, and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, and just when TCA's got a little something working there. But, guys, you go back to Spurgeon, and I think maybe we lost sight of how effective he was last year and what kind of impact he could have on this rematch in this game tonight. Remember, he didn't play the first time.
It was a rattle out to Lane Lambert, the wide receiver. He threw it back across the field to Spurgeon, and Spurgeon made Jacquez Wilkins miss, and that's not easy to do.
And by the way, on that great picture on the replay, you can easily see the block in the back. It's a good call.
Absolutely, and remember, Lambert played quarterback during the first half of the season when Spurgeon was out injured.
After the penalty, 1st and 19, Trinity from the tied 39. Man in motion. He'll set up in the backfield. Coleman, the lone setback. Spurgeon goes shotgun with trips here on the near side and one receiver top of the screen. It's a draw. Coleman, room, 35, 30. Center of the field, inside the 30. And Coleman is taken off his feet, but not before he's at the tied 27-yard line. Is Addison Coleman having a big first quarter, and that'll do it for the first quarter. The game was over the first time these two teams met by the end of the first quarter. Not this time. We're scoreless after one quarter. On Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
What? 30 seconds to tell them about Rockin' Dough Pizza?
Here goes.
Try Rockin' Dough's ZZ Tots, shredded potatoes, cheddar, Havarti with a sriracha aioli. Or the Blues Burger, blackened beef, blue cheese, arugula with truffle mayo and a balsamic reduction. The Cuban Grinder with pork, ham, Swiss, pickles, garlic, basil aioli, and a grained mustard. The Super Freak Pizza, my favorite. White sauce, spicy Italian sausage with caramelized onions and honey. And their fantastic Sunday brunch. Rockin' Dough in the Jackson Walk Plaza, a slice of the good life.
Keeping you informed, alerted, and entertained. We're Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Well, 12 minutes in the book here at Walter Kilzer Stadium, and I think a lot of people after one quarter are a little bit shell-shocked here.
Yeah, and Dan said as he was as we went off the air, it was 50-0 at halftime, 22-0 at the end of the first quarter in that first ballgame. TCA's offensive line is whipping Peabody's front, Seabass.
5 wide receivers set, 4 to the wide side. That's the left side. Addison Coleman with a screen of smaller receivers in front of him. Spurgeon in the backfield by himself. He's got Davis to the short side. Here's the snap. Spurgeon looking toward Davis. Single coverage. Floats the ball way over his head and is almost intercepted in the end zone. You know, this is what I was talking about a minute ago on that straight go route, not giving your receiver ample opportunity and time to run under that football.
Well, and they're going to go to Davis quite a bit. We've talked about his speed, and he does have excellent speed, but that's good coverage there by Isaiah Jackson. Isaiah Jackson could have come up with a pick if he'd made an outstanding over-the-shoulder catch, but it'll be third down for the Lions.
3rd and 8 from the Trenton Peabody 29-yard line. 11:54 here left to go in the first half. Here's Spurgeon looking up the middle, finds Davis on a seam route, hits him, connects it down to the 7-yard line. That's good for a first down. That's not Davis. That's number 8, Riley Graves. And boy, again, the job that Spurgeon's doing of looking off his receivers and then firing at the last minute is really freezing these Peabody defenders.
Well, they were expecting good things out of Spurgeon. He had the injury, and this is his second full game back, and he's doing a nice job finding those open receivers that time in the seam.
He just waited for Dixon to overrun the route, and that's exactly what happened. So first and, let's see, can they get another first down? They can. They're spotting this ball. Where is this lead? They're spotting this at the 14-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Lions, setting up shop. Here's man in motion. Here's a quick screen over to Coleman from the 5-yard line, all the way spins around down to the, about the 1-yard line. What a beautiful play at that time. Fake motion and set up Coleman right there just next to that left tackle. Throws a beautiful little screen as he pulls out of the backfield. He catches it, has a lead blocker, and gets all the way down to the 1-yard line. Lions setting up shop here now, 1st and goal.
Some pressure there that time on Spurgeon. He did a nice job dumping it off in a big pickup, 1st and goal from the 1-yard line.
Well, this needs to be big man football. This has got to be Addison Coleman time, you would think, here from the 1-yard line with 10:39 left to go in the first half. Here's Coleman on the give. We'll see if he got in. I thought his knee went down before he got in, but they'll say he did cross the goal line. Touchdown TCA. And they cracked the scoreboard first at the 10:28 mark of the second quarter. And these Peabody fans on their hands right now. They can't believe what they're seeing.
Well, it's a different team and a different game than we saw 2 weeks ago. I think you're correct in crossing the goal line. There's knees being down, but course, they don't have the beneficiary of instant replay there.
Nobody's going to buzz us up here for it, are they? TCA on for the extra point. Snap is good. Hold is good. Kick is up. Splits the uprights. And your new score with 10:23 left to go till the half here at Walter Kilzer Stadium. It's Trinity Christian 7 and Trenton Peabody nothing on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM and WNWS.com.
At Home Medical Products, we provide patients with products to make sure you breathe, sleep, move, and live well. With items like nebulizers, travel oxygen, CPAPs, hospital beds, wheelchairs, scooters, lift chairs, commodes, and so much more. You have a choice when choosing home medical companies. It's the patient's choice. Make the right choice. Locally owned and operated Home Medical Products. Call 877-660-0084 or find them online at hmpinc.net.
The latest news, hottest talk. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Desmond Tyler and Noah Holbrook back deep for Trenton Peabody. You said that one of these two, maybe Desmond Tyler, makes a big play in special teams. Let's see if he gets that opportunity here, trailing 7-0.
Now would be a good time to do it. Peabody with their backs to the wall. This is the first time they've been behind since week 2 of the season, other than the Gibson County loss.
For TCA, Lopes set to kick off here. Again, if you're just tuning in, this may surprise folks. Now, Lawson flipped that score. It's not Peabody 7-0. It's TCA 7-0 for our friends that are watching at WNWS.com. Here's the kick off the tee that really basically lands out of bounds.
Well, I think they're trying to keep the ball away from Noah Holbrook. They know the speed that he has. Trying to get him on that soft ground over there, but went out of bounds. So you're giving the Peabody the ball at the 35-yard line. Not ideal for TCA, but they've done a great job defensively against this Peabody offense.
And these Peabody fans are waiting for something to cheer for here.
Yeah, not a lot to cheer for. We talked about Peabody and the offense that we're going to re-kick this.
I was wondering what was going on. I didn't see a flag. Okay, they're saying a false start by TCA on the kickoff, so we'll do it again. That's a win for TCA in my mind.
Absolutely.
But I think you're absolutely right. They don't want to let Tyler and Holbrook burn them after they've played so good so far. They don't want a special teams breakdown being the reason this game gets tied up. So we'll see how Lopes elects to kick this football. I'm pretty sure he has instructions from Blake Butler. 5 and 7, do not touch this football if you can help it.
Well, and that's a good call. And it's the same way when Peabody's kicking off and keeping the ball out of Davis's hands, and anything you can do to keep the ball out of that kid's hands is a win-win. And it's the same way with Noah Holbrook with Peabody.
Update from the reservation after 1. Northside and Montgomery Central knotted up at 7. You can listen to that broadcast at WNWS.com on the Jackson-Madison County feed. Lopes puts the foot under the ball, and this time he does kick it deep. Taking it to 15, up through the middle. He's got a seam, makes it. That's number 7, Noah Holbrook. He gets all the way up into TCA territory. Finally ran down at the Lion 47-yard line. They rolled the dice. It didn't pay off for the Lions that time.
Well, they did. They got more loft on the kick, which enabled the defense to get downfield. But Noah Holbrook is a special talent. He found a seam in the middle, and Peabody's going to be starting on the TCA side of the field, first and 10 from the 46 of the Lions.
So Bogus in this Trenton Peabody offense, who's done very little other than the Bogus runs that he's had. They haven't done anything other than that. Now they'll set up shop at the 47-yard line of TCA, see if they can get things going here. Bogus in the shotgun, flanked by 2 backs. Here's the give off left side, rumbling over a defender. Holy smokes, I believe that was Dixon, who he went head-to-head on one of the defenders, and Dixon is a big kid. He's 6 foot 215, the same size as Addison Coleman, and runs with a lot of power.
Yeah, only a junior, very strong from the waist down, very powerful legs, and he's going to run over you, and most of the time, if he gets to the edge, he can outrun you.
He'll get 6 for that. They'll say just shy of the 40-yard line, 2nd and 4. Same play once again. Same result once again. The Bull Moose is loose. Holy smokes, that's powerful running. The junior running back, is it Gerald or Jarrell? Jarrell Dixon with another run off left tackle. Looks to me like, at least at this point, when Peabody needs the money, they go off left tackle.
Well, they do, and that's the strong side of their offensive line. We got a timeout here. And they've got a 1-2 punch in Jarrell Dixon and Jacquez Wilkins. Wilkins being the scat back, and with Jarrell having a little bit more power.
Let's go down to the narrator. Narrator, you surprised by what you've seen so far?
Yeah, if you're talking about the whole game, I am. And now, with what Dixon's doing and what this Peabody offense is doing in this drive, y'all might have noticed the Peabody crowd got up on their feet. During the first and second quarter, I talked to some old Peabody folks. And when I talk about old folks, one of them 79 years old, played football here, followed football all his life here, and he was confused. The old gangsters on the fence were saying, we don't understand this.
The old gangsters on the fence. There is nobody like that man down there on the sidelines. Love you, narrator. Here we go. 7-0 Peabody trailing TCA early stages of the second quarter. Peabody from the TCA 39. Here's Bogus, needs a block, trying to string it out to the outside, but just can't get anything going. He'll fall forward for about 2 yards. Well defended that time by the Lions.
Back to one thing that Richard was talking about. This is what Peabody has done the last half of the season because they've been in blowout ball games. It's been successful. They're going to have to open up the playbook, Seabass. They're going to have to bring out some of those things they used early in the season. TCA's defense is making a stand in this ball game.
And they're playing well. But like I said, I think the linemen are having a hard time when they're coming out to pull, getting out of their stance. They can't fire out the way they want to. To the right side here is the number 8, Jaquez Wilkins. They blow that whistle a little bit early. He wasn't quite down that time, but he'll pick up about 7 yards on that play all the way down to the TCA 26-yard line, setting up 3rd and short for the Golden Tide.
Well, he wasn't finished running, that's for sure. Let's see if he does touch. And, yes, he was
did.
down.
He did.
Touch the ground, but that's the quickness, and if he gets to the edge, nice defensive effort there by the corner coming up to make that stop on Jaquez Wilkins.
Boy, no, such a nice compliment to Dixon in that backfield. Both of these young men, underclassmen, just juniors, as is their quarterback. Here's Bogus given once again over the right side. That's number 8 once again, Jaquez Wilkins, who falls forward and should have enough for the first down. Wilkins is not a big guy, 5'5", 164, but not only is he explosive, he runs with a lot of power.
He does. He's got powerful legs, and he's a fine young man. He's going to give you everything he's got. He's a good 1-2 punch. And then also when you get Cooper Bogus' ability to run the ball, the dual threat that he is, Peabody has a lot of offensive weapons to choose from.
8 minutes left here. Second quarter, 7-0. Trinity. Peabody on the ground. They work right side. A nice little hop, skip, and jump by Wilkins to avoid the first Trinity defender. And Wilkins going to pick up 4 yards.
That should have been a loss in the backfield of about 2 yards. TCA did a great job stunting the guy. Justin Moore was there. It looks like Wilkins just stepped over the tackle that time.
To the sideline, Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, a kid I've been keeping an eye on because it was interesting to me. Number 15, let me find him here. Harrison Freeman.
Second down and 6 to the air. Bogus, end zone, intercepted. Oh, boy. That was picked off of the end zone. Lane Lambert went up high. Bass, it was kind of just a jump ball in the end zone on second down and 6. Bogus lost it into the end zone, and Lambert picked it off.
Yeah, I have a problem with this, though, because you're playing up against even though it's single coverage, you're playing a defensive back that's 6'3", and you're throwing the ball up in a lob for a guy who's about 5 inches shorter than him.
And he's an athlete. He plays quarterback. He plays receiver. That time he did a nice job defensively. He got the ball at his highest point over Noah Halbrook.
I think you went away from what got you down there.
Absolutely.
Beautiful drive. Ends with an INT at Peabody. As Trinity takes it over on 1st and 10 from the Lion 20. The Tide jump offside. Let's go back down to the narrator.
Kid I was trying to find a while ago is a TCA linebacker, Harrison Freeman, number 15. Guys, you know, as you watch the defense plays now Dixon led him up a couple of plays ago, but he's a kid I've watched this tonight. Just a freshman, big kid, 6'1", 200 pounds, and he's played a pretty solid football game.
First down and 5 for Trinity. 7 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the second quarter. 7-0 Trinity. Spurgeon out of the gun, rolling right, throwing downfield and incomplete. Threw it behind the intended receiver, Mitch says he had him open view for about a 5-yard gain, and these Trinity receivers have been running wide open all night.
Well, it's just a little 3-yard outs, and I'll tell you one thing, they're very lucky that time that ball didn't hang a little bit more because Dixon was in great pursuit, and he was nearly there for the pick.
Had him open lead, just threw it behind him.
Pick 6 for Jarrell if he does come up with it. Nobody was going to catch him, but yeah, throw was just off target. And you know, as far as Spurgeon is concerned, he's still getting his legs out from underneath him after the 2 games.
Second down and 5. Trinity from their own 25. Spurgeon with 4 wide receivers out of the gun. Back to throw. Across the middle, it's complete. Out across the 30 to the 31-yard line. That's going to be enough for a Lion first down on the reception. Kevin Davis, that's a huge high group first down for the Lions.
And I'll tell you what, one thing about Davis, now he catches that ball 3 yards behind the sticks and falls forward, so it's not just about speed with Davis. That was about his strength as well.
6:43 left with the second quarter, 7-0 Trinity. Trip wide receivers here on the near side, one top of the screen. Davis will join him with 5 wide receivers in an empty backfield. For quarterback Matt Spurgeon, he'll take it out of the gun. Peabody with a showing blitz. 5-man front here, and we got whistles. Illegal procedure on Peabody. Well, this game brought you in part by Griffin Automotive. Narrator, that's about as good as it gets with Brian Griffin. You got vehicle trouble? Griffin Automotive, they've got solutions here in Trenton.
This guy's he's a fine man. I've known him for years. I don't take my vehicles anywhere but Brian Griffin at Griffin Automotive.
He's that good. After the penalty, first down at 15. Trinity, new line of scrimmage, their own 25. Here's Spurgeon out of the gun, back to throw. Steps up, looks, here comes the pressure. Spurgeon will run. Has the 30, has the 35, has the 40, has the 45. Along the numbers out to midfield. Spurgeon is finally taken off his feet at the 50 with some nifty moves along the way. Spurgeon rips off 20 yards in a first down for TCA, and we got an injured Lion lying back near the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it's one of the offensive linemen, and he appears to be in a very good deal of pain. But, fellas, I love what Blake Butler is doing right here. He's running this 5 wide receiver set. He's absolutely spreading this athletic defense out as far as it can possibly go, and it's making it very difficult to put any type of pressure on Spurgeon. You're 5-on-4. You've got the matchup there in favor of your offensive line, and if you can't find anybody open there, the middle of that field is wide open, and Spurgeon is not he's not Kevin Davis, but he's quite mobile enough to move around.
Well, Lee, he is very, very quick and tough to get down to the open field. Kyle Spurgeon, Matt Spurgeon.
The offense that they're running, you talk about that and spreading this Peabody defense out. They only threw 22 passes in the first game they played 2 weeks ago. They've thrown that many already in the ball game tonight.
Timeout for an injured Lion. One of the offensive linemen. We didn't pick up that number, lying back at the 14-yard line. Trainers attending to him right now. It's 7-0 Trinity Christian with the advantage. 5:49 left before halftime. Jackson Northside on top of Montgomery, 14-7. Milan out in front of South Gibson, 13-0. Just down the road from us here at Johnny Hill Stadium.
Well, Bulldogs said, yeah, sleep on us. Go ahead.
Well, if that game lives up to the pregame hype, it's not over yet. Boy, those two communities have gone at it hard during this last week, facing off against one another in an inter-county rivalry.
It's not hot outside, y'all.
Yeah, a lot of smack talk.
Oh, yeah.
In that rivalry.
No love lost.
No. Let's see. With 5:43 left here in the second quarter. 7-0 Trinity. We'll take a 30-second timeout on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
What will you find at Allegro Print and Imaging that you won't find at an ordinary printer? Well, you'll find a lot more than printing. We offer graphic design, print-on-demand services, large format signs and banners, collating, binding, packaging, mailing services, even custom designed promotional products, along with the expertise you need to make the smartest choices. Why settle for ordinary when you can get extraordinary results from Allegra? Call us at 664-1676. Allegra Print and Imaging, building relationships, designing solutions.
Monday Night Football, the NFL, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Still down, lying around the 14-yard line there, right away the offensive lineman for Trinity. Spurgeon actually picked up 24 yards on that nifty run when protection broke down. Matt Spurgeon, 24 yards and a first down for Trinity at midfield or just into Peabody territory at the 49 of Peabody. 5:49 left before halftime. It's 7-0 Trinity with a lead. Let's go down to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, it's been a few minutes now, and it looks like they're trying to get the number here, 75. Max Spate is the guy that's down. Now, his dad did come out of the stands. They've got him raised up. I think the one thing I look at when I see a player go down and how long he stays down, do they pull his helmet off? And they got his helmet off, so it's a lower extremity injury as they try to help him off now, which is not good news, but it could have been worse.
Max Spade is 6'3", 295 pounds, only a sophomore, and he's already one of the most talented linemen for Trinity, so that's going to be potentially a big loss, Lee, to lose a big guy like that. And this offensive line has been playing so well and giving Matt Spurgeon a lot of time back there in the pocket.
Well, they really have, so we'll see how that affects this offensive line play and the cohesiveness of that unit. It's going to be a physical ballgame. We knew that coming in. Peabody's going to get after it, and TCA is playing a lot more physical tonight than they did in the first matchup. Give the Lions and the staff credit. They've got these kids ready to play.
And we think Ed Norman at LA Realty, Ed Norman right here in Trenton, right on the court square, LARealty.com.
By the way, Max Spate, the nephew of our good friend, The Body.
The Body, nobody knows his nickname, you, so his name is what?
The Body, that's his name. Everybody that listens to that show knows who The Body is.
Okay. You want to give his real name?
He may not want me to. He's, witness protection and whatnot.
I've actually heard him on the show with you. It'd be a strange time to switch gears. If he wants to say witness protection to you, I don't know. First out and 10 at midfield. Here's Trinity. Spurgeon back to the air. Has a man open here on the near sideline who makes the catch and steps out of bounds at the 45-yard line. On the reception for Trinity is Lane Lambert. It's a gain of 4.
Well, we talked about Lambert. Lambert stepped in at quarterback when Spurgeon got hurt. This gives TCA another weapon offensively, and they're taking advantage of that since Spurgeon has come back now for the end of the season in the playoffs. He's got some weapons that he can throw to, and this is a different ball team than we've seen.
Bass, are you saying it needs to go down a bit?
No. We're good.
Second down and a 6 from the Peabody 45. Spurgeon, a snap, gets away, he has a running down, and it's on the carpet. They scramble for it. Who's got it? It's a foul goal, and Peabody has it. Holy moly. Covering that fumble for Peabody is a man that's played well all season. J.C. Eubanks, the senior defensive end. The snap was low and got by Matt Spurgeon and rolled, and that fumble would not have been recovered by Peabody had Jarrell Dixon not got back there and knocked Matt Spurgeon away from the football.
Yeah, if you hadn't said it, I was about to. That's all about Dixon right there. Well, it's actually all about the bad snap. But Spurgeon was in place to do that, to get that fumble and fall on it. But Dixon hustled and he got there, and just as Spurgeon was about to fall on it, he pushed him out of the way.
Well, the narrator is hustling down the sideline. Let's go down to Richard, the narrator, Barber. Well, he's listening in right now. And here's the discussion on the sideline between the officials.
They've got a clock issue. They're trying to get the correct time on the clock. Maybe they're adding that 17 seconds from the first quarter.
Yeah, because, Lee, that may come into play in a game like this. Let's go down to the sideline and see what Richard, the narrator, Barber, overheard. Here's the narrator.
Guys, it's the clock. Peabody's wanting some time on the clock. And they had to call the Whitehead over and make the argument, so they're trying to reset the clock now.
By the ball game here in the first half. 5:20 left before halftime. And Trinity was in such great position. Bass leading 7-0 with a fresh set of downs at the midfield to try to get to the locker room without Peabody getting on the scoreboard. Now Peabody can really turn this game around. They got plenty of time and all 3 timeouts. It does start from the Trinity 37. Here's Bogus. He'll keep it straight ahead. There's nothing there as Trinity just gobbles it up at the line of scrimmage on first down. He had a read there, and it didn't matter which decision he was going to make that time, Lee. That Trinity defensive line was waiting.
TCA had that covered up. Great job by that front four. TCA, as you said, he had a read there, option read. Cooper Bogus took it straight up the middle, and there were 4 white shirts to greet him there. Just a great job defensively by the Lions.
Well, and led by Eli Morris, but you're right. The penetration that both of these defensive lines are getting is really wreaking havoc on the other offense.
2nd and 10, no gain. From the Trinity 37, Bogus keeps it again, this time with some room here on the near hash mark. From the 37, he'll have the 35. A fight down near the 32-yard line. Bogus will have right at 5 yards. It'll bring up a huge 3rd down and 5 for the tie.
Well, given where you are in the situation, this is you have 2 downs to get 5-6 yards here. Even if they don't get it, they're going to go for it here.
We saw that play in the first quarter on Peabody's 2nd drive, and that went for a big yardage there. And Cooper Bogus again picked up 5 yards, going to bring up 3rd and 5, as you mentioned.
We also think Trenton Medical Clinic and Davy Crockett Mall, the Trenton Medical Clinic. Timeouts. Peabody will take it with him with 3:59 left in the first half. It's 7-0 Trinity on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 at WNWS.com.
It's a competition crusher. Sales event going on now at Sarah Jackson. We will beat any dealer on any Chevy, period. 2018 Chevy Spark starting at $11,921 and payments as low as $184 a month. 2018 Chevy Sonic starting at $14,999 and payments as low as $239 a month. You can save over $12,000 on new 2018 Silverados. Big city deals. Small town hospitality only at Sarah Jackson. One destination, so many choices. Rushing the competition every day in every way.
News Talk 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
Some updates coming in. Over in Milan, it's 13-7 now as that game's tightening up. Milan leading South Gibson here at 7-0. Trinity with 3:53 left in the first half. Peabody 3rd down and 5 from the Trinity 32. On the ground they go, right side, spinning away from one tackler, but not the second. It's a gain of only a yard. It'll be 4th down for the Tide as that offensive line from Peabody having a lot of trouble tonight. Dixon on the carry, Lee, and there just wasn't nothing there.
Yeah, TCA's front four is really doing a great job getting push. They're pushing the offensive line with Peabody back in backfield, and that time Jarrell Dixon had nowhere to go. It's going to bring up a 4th down and 4.
Peabody going for it with 3:25 left before halftime. 4th down and 4 from the Trinity 31. Bogus out of the gun. Dixon the lone setback. 3 wide receivers. Is Bogus with 2 on the play clock, and they have to call a timeout, does Peabody. That play clock was about to expire, and Jacob saw it and burnt the seconds of Peabody's 3 timeouts. And Lee, there's the clock still moving.
Clock still running down here. About 10 seconds ran off the clock. We'll see if they add that back on.
That's scores coming in. Is that what you've got going on over
No,
there?
I was working on some stuff back at the studio, but you know, I tell you, boy, that last play on 3rd down, that really concerns me here because you really wanted to get another 2 yards at least on that, because when you do that now, anything's open. I'm a little bit nervous for Trenton Peabody to run this football 4 yards on a 4th down situation like this. You almost have to go to the air here, and that's not what you want to do.
They do, but you know, that's one thing that Peabody has not done much of tonight. They've relied strictly trying to run straight up the middle, and TCA has been prepared for that. Peabody's going to have to open the playbook. I know you haven't seen them as much, but they've got some outstanding skill position players. They're going to have to open the playbook open, but they've not had to in the last 4 weeks. It'll be interesting to see what happens in the second half with their play calling.
Not being very successful getting these playmakers in space. 4th down and 4. Peabody from the Lion at 31-yard line. 2:57 now left. Now they put 10 seconds back on the clock. 3:07. And now it looked like the clock operator was getting an earful down there on the sideline.
Well, I was able to step in and listen to that. And it really is a clock issue. The clock operator saying, look, I'm starting
4th down and 5. Here's Vargas out of the gun. Back to throw. Fires across the middle. It's high and incomplete at the 5-yard line. Oh, boy. On the coverage for Trinity was Lane Lambert. It was intended for Holbrook. Holbrook thought he was interfered with, but no mustard. And Trinity stops Peabody after the turnover.
Yeah, no, you can't. There's no penalty here. Trying to hit that post that time, but this is what I was talking about. Because they didn't get that extra 2, you know you're going through the air, but anything past intermediate, at least tonight, has not been their thing.
It has not.
Well, now, after stopping the clock with those timeouts, still with 3 minutes and a second left before halftime, Trinity now, they have a full complement of timeouts in their back pockets, and they'll start from their own 31-yard line. Well, they did have a full complement of timeouts. Butler burns one of those timeouts. Trinity will take it with them. With 3 minutes and 1 second left before halftime, it's TCA 7 and Peabody nothing on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
It's the competition crusher sales event going on now at Sarah Jackson. We will beat any dealer on any Chevy, period. 2018 Chevy Spark starting at $11,921 and payments as low as $184 a month. 2018 Chevy Sonic starting at $14,999 and payments as low as $239 a month. You can save over $12,000 on new 2018 Silverados. Big city deals, small town hospitality, only at Sarah Jackson. One destination, so many choices. Rushing the competition every day in every way.
When you need to know.
I know. Yeah, I know.
There's only one place to go.
Yeah, I know. I do. I do too.
Get in the know.
It's what I need to know.
Information you need to know on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Peabody football being presented by Phelan Estes Insurance, 118 East Eaton Street in Trenton, Tennessee. 1st and 10, Trinity takes over. Throwing 31, it's Spurgeon. Here we go, another double pass. Now they're going to run it to the 30, to the 35, now room. 40, to the 45, outside the numbers to midfield, to the 45 of Peabody, to the 40, down the sideline he goes, and finally ushered out of bounds at the Tide 25-yard line. Holy moly, what a play there by Lane Lambert. This guy is quite an athlete, view. That one looked like it was going to fall apart. Lambert looked like he was going to throw it and then decided to run it.
And with the athletes that Trenton Peabody has on the field defensively, and as long as that play took, and Holbrook had to go about 85 yards to get that all done, I'm surprised they had that type of success.
Well, it was a great job by Lambert there, and we talked about that when Spurgeon came back. That gave Lambert a chance with some more touches and another weapon for this line team.
45-yard gain to the ground on 1st and 10 for the Peabody 37. That's Kevin Davis. Let's go to the sideline. Richard, the narrator, Barber. Narrator, the Peabody fans right now stunned here, down 7-0, approaching halftime.
Really are. You know, guys, we've watched TCA for years. You couldn't question their toughness. I think Coach Butler did challenge them after that Peabody loss, and this is the way they responded.
2:15, clock is moving. Second quarter, 7-0. Trinity Christian Academy with a lead. 2nd and 10 for the Lions for the Tide 37 as Spurgeon goes shotgun with the man in motion left to right. Play action, back to throw. Here comes the pressure. Spurgeon escapes. Looking downfield, he'll just sladle it out there or throw it. It's a pass, an underhanded pass, and he finds his outlets. And that's going to be a gain inside the 35 down to the 34-yard line. It's a gain of 4 yards, Bass, but that was a brilliant play by Matt Spurgeon as he finds his outlet, Kevin Davis, pick up 4.
Yeah, and it froze Dixon because he had to keep his eye on Davis, but you're right, just a little flip to hit his outlet that time, the speedy Davis, but that's all about Spurgeon there.
It looked like Some Hall of Fame NFL quarterback that played at Green Bay, huh? 3rd down and 6. There is Spurgeon back to throw. Plenty of time. He'll go across the middle. It's caught by Lambert, but he's going to be tackled at the 31. That's going to be well shy of that first down. It'll bring up 4th down and right about 4 yards here for Trinity with 1:07 left. And Trinity kind of in no man's land. It'd be a long field goal view, and Trinity's going to roll the dice on 4th down and 4.
Yeah, in these conditions, I don't know if Loeb could hit. That'd be a 48-yarder.
4th down and 4 from the Peabody 31. Man in motion left to right. Spurgeon out of the shotgun. Play clock at 10. Spurgeon looking to the sideline. Play clock down to 7. Spurgeon still looking to the sideline. He gonna let that play clock run down.
TCA calls a timeout.
Timeout, TCA. Well, TCA gets the football to start the second half. I know there's not much time left, and Peabody is down to 1 timeout, but Peabody, though.
Clock's still running.
Oh, boy, here we go again.
Here we go again. You're
Here
right.
we go again with that clock.
no.
But, you know, Bass, with its Peabody offense, you're just not comfortable giving them the ball back, even with no timeouts and 30 seconds left in the half.
Yeah, no question about it. I think strike just like that. Guys, I've got 2 scores for you here in week 2 of the playoffs. Both these games at the half. At the half at the reservation, Northside leading 21-7 over Montgomery Central. And here's one for you, fellas. On this crazy, crazy, crazy night, halftime score from Dyersburg. Dyersburg 7, Crockett County 6.
Oh, boy. I mean, you know, Kevin Ward's team now into their well coached, and you never know what they're going to come up with.
Second quarter score, Union City leading fairly 14-12.
Close games tonight. Boy, boy, boy. We're due for a station ID, 0108. Station ID for our stations listening west of the Rockies. It's 0108 as well. And our stations up in Canada. Right now we're down in the air in Mexico because of the caravan. 0108, we'll step aside for 10 seconds.
This is WNWS FM Jackson. News brought to you by the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. 112 Stonebridge, Jackson.
My name's Dan Reaves, along with Seabass, Lee Hayes, Drew Magruder, Richard, the narrator, Barber, Jonathan Greer making it happen from News Southport headquarters. Michael Eisborn, Lawson Mann, Paul Schultze on the digital TV side, and WNWS.com. 4th down and 4, Trinity for the Peabody 31. Here's Spurgeon out of the gun, back to throw. Flags are down. Spurgeon scrambling, throwing across the middle. It's deflected and incomplete at the 25. Spurgeon is an exciting QB. Went over the middle, looking for Sisk, I believe. Flags were lying near the line of scrimmage. We'll see what this is. Clock stops on the incompletion with 24 seconds left in the first half. Here's the official, the White Hats. Illegal shift on Trinity. Declined by Peabody, and the Tide will get the ball back here with 24 seconds left in the first half. They'll take over from the Peabody right around the 31-yard line. 24 seconds left in the half. What do you do here, B, with 1 timeout?
You know, if I had another 20 seconds, I may consider something, you know, but I hate to do that, but I'm going to be a little conservative, play it safe, and get into the half by trailing by 1 possession.
Yeah, a couple of weeks ago I said we'd play it safe on the last play of the half, and we went 67 yards for a touchdown. So I hope you're wrong.
Me too.
7-0, Trinity Christian. 24 seconds left in the first half, and Peabody looks like they're going to kneel on it here. Well, sort of. And Shane Jacobs has to call a timeout, and he's not happy. Let's go down to the sideline to Richard, the narrator, Barber. Narrator? Well, the narrator he's telling it, but turn your microphone on there, big guy. Now he's got an attitude.
Everybody's got an attitude.
Look at us, narrator. You may
The
have been
big
blocking
guy.
your own signal. Richard, the narrator. Barber, you with us? Come in, New York. Come in, New York. Let's see. Somebody turned him. We've got a...
Never sounded better.
See if somebody unplugged the narrator. I got the narrator back. Somebody unplugged you there, big guy.
What's up, dog?
We just wanted to say hi.
Yeah, we just wanted to say hi.
What I'm wondering is, can you hear me now?
Yeah, if you'll pull that microphone just a little bit back there.
Out of your esophagus.
Out of your esophagus. Peabody got to keep it on the ground. To the 35, to the 40, to the 45, to the 50. And they got him wrapped up in midfield. But that's a direct snap by Noah Holbrook. The Wildcat, they say Holbrook with 20 yards to the Trinity 49. And the clock will stop. They move the chains. Here's Vargas out of the gun. Back to Holbrook with a direct snap, and Holbrook this time going to be taken off his feet after a gain of about 4 yards. And that's going to do it for the first half. And, you know, if had Peabody not had to burn that timeout, Lee, they'd be setting up right now for a Hail Mary.
Well, they would, and Holbrook, as you said, the Wildcat formation that time, and they've had some success with that. And TCA, I guarantee you, they know that Noah Holbrook has got an arm and he can throw the ball. That time he tried off tackle, and TCA defense was there to stop it. 7-0 at halftime. Dan, I have to tell you, I'm really surprised at this score, but give all the credit in the world to TCA. They have played outstanding defensively, and they've done enough offensively to have the lead.
See, if the narrator are you with a coach down there? We can't spot you. Narrator, you with us?
No, I was trying to grab them. They headed out, dog.
What a first half. You don't get that. You just don't get that from the sideline. They headed out. No, I love Richard, the narrator.
See if we catch Coach Butler as he comes off.
What, narrator, see, the narrator is very bold, and he's going to head over and talk with the Trinity head coach, Butler. Here's the narrator.
Coach, you got a half in the books, and it's a little different flavor to this game.
Yeah, I mean, that's what I expect out of our kids. Again, we got to keep fighting. Peabody's a good team. They're going to come out after us. Proud of the way our kids fought that half, and we got to put another one together if we want to get out of here with a win.
Good luck in the second half, Coach.
Appreciate it.
Richard, the narrator, Barber, with Trinity Christian Academy head football coach Blake Butler. Boy, it's 7-0 at halftime. Trinity with the surprise lead and shutting out Peabody for a half of football. Lee, that's not easily done.
Yeah, no, it's really not. And Peabody's got the goose egg in this ball game. TCA's defense has played lights out. Addison Coleman leading the way, the bell cow, that defense. He's had a lot of help. And offensively, TCA has played better than Peabody also tonight and made some big plays. So Peabody's got to go in, and they're going to have to rewrite some things and do something different in the second half. Peabody's not used to this. They're used to having big leads at halftime. We'll see how they can respond in this second half.
Drew Magruder going to join Lee Hayes here at halftime with some scores and some stats. That's all coming up next on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
MasterFit Medical Equipment is on a mission, and that mission is to serve everyone with premium medical equipment at savings you wouldn't find elsewhere. At MasterFit, we represent over 200 medical equipment and supply manufacturers and over 90,000 products, with much of it in our warehouse right here in Jackson. Defibrillators, monitors, EKGs, pumps, sensors, and more. So when you need more affordable medical equipment, call MasterFit Medical Equipment at 554-1223.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday.
King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, and a brand new King Jewelers location in downtown Jackson.
What? 30 seconds to tell them about Rockin' Dough Pizza?
Here goes.
Try Rockin' Dough's ZZ Tots, shredded potatoes, cheddar, Havarti with a sriracha aioli. Or the Blues Burger, blackened beef, blue cheese, arugula with truffle mayo and a balsamic reduction. The Cuban Grinder with pork, ham, Swiss, pickles, garlic, basil aioli, and a grained mustard. The Super Freak Pizza, my favorite. White sauce, spicy Italian sausage with caramelized onions and honey. And their fantastic Sunday brunch. Rockin' Dough in the Jackson Walk Plaza. A slice of the good life.
Do you have cataracts, glaucoma, or any form of eye disease? At Hughes Eye Center, our physicians include residency-trained optometrists, surgical ophthalmologists, retinal surgeons, and oculoplastic surgeons, all right here in Jackson, Tennessee at Hughes Eye Center. There's no need to drive to Memphis or Nashville for your surgical eye care needs. Call 664-1994 to schedule your consultation. At Hughes Eye Center on Stonebridge in Jackson, that's 664-1994.
The mates are back together once again at Outback Steakhouse. Steak and lobster, the best mates together again. Try the juicy lobster paired with the tender signature steak from Outback Steakhouse. The tender juicy filet and a steamed lobster tail. Now here's a word from one of my mates.
Hi, this is Ian and Sulaco with Outback Steakhouse here in Jackson. I'm sure that you know we're a national chain, but did you know that I'm from Jackson and a JCM graduate? Much of my staff and I have been together here at Outback Steakhouse for 15 years. Yes, we are a national company, but here in Jackson, it's all about local. Our pledge, it's always fresh in the Outback. I'd like to thank you, Jackson, for your help in making Outback Steakhouse in Jackson the shining star of the Outback family. And I personally invite you to have dinner with us at Outback Steakhouse, Jackson, Tennessee, 194 Stonebrook Place, or take advantage of curbside takeaway to go by calling 664-9000. That's 664-9000 or OutbackSteakhouse.com. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. No rules, just right.
We're not just another radio station. We're your radio station. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
And we're back live here at WNWS.com and Walter Kielzer Stadium. This is Drew Magruder and, of course, Lee Hayes. And some scores we do have. We have Union City and Fairleigh. The last I heard, Lee, it was Union City 21, Fairleigh 20. That was going into halftime. Ripley 28. Haywood 28, Ripley 7. And we also have a... that's the only score I can see right now, Lee. We got Crockett County 6 and Dyersburg 7.
Update on that Union City score, 28-20 over Fairleigh.
28-20 over Fairleigh. Okay.
Just recently updated, Greenfield over Freedom Prep, 12-6. That's the second quarter also. And as you know, Trinity Christian leading Peabody here 7-0. Latest update we have on Milan and South Gibson. The Bulldogs lead that one 13-7. Lake County pouring it on West Carroll 34-0. A couple of games we talked about. Dyersburg leading Crockett County 7-6. McNary up over Covington. That's a shocker to a lot of folks. That's in the first quarter. 7-0. McNary County Central over the Covington Chargers.
Wow, that is a shocker right there.
Waverly leading Columbia Academy 6-0, and Northside and Montgomery Central tied up at 7. Let's see if we can find Southside. Southside trailing in the second quarter to Springfield 7-6.
All right, and Lee, you got some stats, first half stats?
Well, I tell you what, it's been all TCA through this first half, both offensively and defensively. They've not put up a lot of points, but they've gashed this Peabody defense several occasions. For Trinity Christian, they've got 6 passing first downs, 2 rushing, 0 by penalty for a total of 8. They've rushed 13 times for 59 yards. They have 88 yards passing for a total of 147 yards of offense, 10 of 16 in that first half. They had 1 fumble and lost that. They punted twice for a 38-yard average and 6 penalties for 40 yards. For Peabody, they trailed 7-0. They had 4 rushing first downs, and that's it. They were 0 of 4 through the air with 1 interception. Peabody has total yardage in this first half, 89 yards. And that's very unlike this Peabody football team. They fumbled once and lost that. Punted twice for a 36-yard average, 2 penalties for 10 yards. Drew, it's just been tough sledding for Peabody. We've seen them all year. And we saw the TCA game, and it's a completely different ball game than what we saw 3 weeks ago.
Definitely is. Different ball game, different team, but a different fan base, too. For the first time since I've been here, Lee, I've actually noticed the stadium gets to rocking when the crowd gets into it. Very exciting ball game. Peabody's still got a lot of game left.
Well, it is, and they're going to have to make some adjustments. They're going to have to do some things offensively that they haven't done in the first half. Defense has not played that well. They've limited the TCA to 147 yards, but TCA's got the edge on the scoreboard. So Peabody's got to get something going offensively. They're going to have to do some things different. They're going to have to open up the playbook, and they're not going to be able to just run off tackle all night like they've done the previous 6 weeks and win ball games.
That's what's surprising me is the lack of production from number 4 and number 8. They just shut both of them down. And every time Hallbrook gets in the backfield, number 7, anytime he gets anywhere near the ball, there's 3 or 4 white jerseys on top of him.
Well, TCA's made some adjustments in their defensive scheme since we played them a few weeks ago, and you're right. Peabody has so many weapons, but TCA has done a great job shutting those down. Cooper Balgus has not had time to throw, and the offense has just not flowed like we have seen them in the past. And, you know, give TCA's defense credit for that. They've come in here ready to play ball tonight, and Peabody's coaches are going to let their players know, hey, you're not playing the way that you've played all year. You're going to have to find it within yourself to come out and do something different the second half.
Only down 7-0, though. Only down 7-0. Any play. All it needs one play. Peabody needs one play, and then get right back in it and eventually take the lead.
Well, I tell you, a big turning point right there at the end of that second half. TCA had the ball and moving the ball into Peabody territory. Got down. Peabody came up with a stop on 4th down. If TCA scores there and goes up 14-0, TCA is going to get the ball here. I think to start the second half, and that's a big defensive stand for Peabody to get that stop there and go in down 7-0.
Definitely not the Peabody we are used to seeing, but there's still a lot of football left to play. We got about another 5 to 6 minutes before we get back underway, so we're going to hand it back over to you, Jonathan, for another series of breaks.
All right, boys, this is it. Yeah. You've got to lay it all out on the line. Give it all you got. Yeah. I want to see more dunks. Yeah. In buffalo sauce. Yeah. Garlic parmesan and bourbon barbecue. Now, I want you to go out there and get us some Dunk Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches from Sonic.
But, Coach, what about the second half?
Halves? What have I told you guys about halves?
Whole sandwiches only. Whole sandwiches only.
New Dunked Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches. This is how you Sonic. For a limited time, only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
Phelan Estes Insurance is an independent agency serving clients in Tennessee. The agency offers prompt professional service for auto, home, business, and life insurance coverage to its customers' needs. We're a part of the local community. Phelan Estes Insurance Agency offers auto, leisure, homeowners, business, renters, life insurance, and more. Get in touch with our friendly staff today at Phelan Estes Insurance Agency, 118 East Eaton Street. Trenton, get a quote today by calling 855-2813. That's 855-2813 for your trusted hometown insurance agency, Phelan Estes Insurance in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5 p.m. Go Tide from Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness in Trenton. At Dynamics, our mission is to be the bright spot in our customers' day while pursuing excellence in healthcare and service. We can help you with physical therapy treatment programs for things like post-surgical rehab, rotator cuff dysfunction, TMJ dysfunction, joint and back neck pains. We specialize in sports medicine for on-site medical coverage for sporting events, comprehensive injury management, communication with athletes and parents, coaches and physicians, as well as 24-hour on-call access to professional staff. We have a 24-hour full-service health clubs specializing in group fitness classes, cutting-edge equipment, and training advice. Dynamics also provides free injury assessments, complimentary injury and pain screenings, providing treatment options and care coordination as well. And evaluations are done by licensed provider. Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness, 126 Davy Crockett Mall. Call 855-2221 for Dynamics Physical Therapy and Fitness. LA Realty LLC was started in January 2000 by longtime Gibson County native and real estate specialist Lynn Arnold. Since that time, our team has grown to include an office in Trenton, led by Ed Norman and many talented professionals who share the common goal of making your real estate goals a reality. We've been involved with the buying and selling of homes in Trenton and adjacent areas for over 10 years. Since inception, we've been an important part of the local community, and we will continue to serve all of the area's real estate needs for years to come. For residential and commercial real estate, contact Ed Norman at 855-9899 or 571-7092. That's 571-7092. That's Ed Norman at LA Realty, 107 West Court Street in Trenton. Tour our listings at larealtyllc.com. Trenton Medical Clinic provides care to patients with chronic disease such as high blood pressure, diabetes, high cholesterol, anxiety, depression, asthma, COPD, attention deficit disorder, obesity, and many other illnesses. DOT exams are also performed at their location. Most all insurances are accepted, including all TennCare products. Reasonable self-pay pricing is available. Trenton Medical Clinic is open Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Appointments can be made by calling 731-855-2803. Walk-in patients are welcomed. Raspberry Tire and Service Center has been providing quality car care in Trenton, Tennessee since 1999. Our shop employs honest ASE certified technicians and mechanics, and we use the latest technology and equipment for our repairs. Because we are a certified Napa Auto Care Center, we're able to provide the benefits of an established national company while offering the personal touch of a local business. We understand that your vehicle is a major investment, and that is why we care for each customer's vehicle as if it were our own. Please be sure to go to raspberryservicecenter.com. Shop special section for our current promotions and specials. Raspberry Wrecker Service since 1982. Small, medium, and heavy wreckers available and on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Call Kyle at 855-9438 or 487-1947. Day or night, one call and you're hooked. Raspberry Tire and Service Center, 2216 U.S. Highway 45 Bypass South in Trenton, Tennessee.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL, and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
News Talk 101.5 FM's coverage of high school football playoffs being presented in part by King Jewelers in Jackson, 16B Conway Drive. The best selection of jewelry at the best available prices. That's a combination that cannot be beat. And Grover has time to create a unique piece for you or the person you love for Christmas and free gift wrapping at King Jewelers. Rolex watch service and repair. They do it all, don't they, Buford?
You got that right, man.
They just do it absolutely.
Yes, they do, and as well as anybody. Grover been in this business over a quarter century and has given everything to this business just to bring you the finest in jewelry in West Tennessee.
Well, Grover, Blue Eyes King, 16B Conway Drive in Jackson, King Jewelers. Well, my name's Dan Reaves along with Seabass, Lee Hayes, Drew Magruder, Rich, the narrator Barber's in his sideline, Jonathan Greer producing and directing, Paul Schulze, Lawson Mann. At WNWS.com, where you can watch tonight's game, and on Facebook, facebook.com/News Talk 101.5, or on Facebook Live tonight as well, and Living Color, where you can watch tonight's game. Michael Osborne is kind of supervising everything like a big old angel, making sure everything is running smoothly tonight. 7-0 at halftime. Surprise, surprise, Trinity Christian with the lead. And Lee, well, you look at the last two meetings, and Peabody just ran the ball at will, but not tonight.
No, they haven't. And we give all the credit in the world to this TCA defense. They've limited Peabody to 89 yards total offense. You talk about the last two games, Peabody had outscored TCA in their head-to-head matchups 111-21. Peabody had 777 yards of offense in those two ball games. But it's been a completely different ball game tonight. This Lion football team has come to play, Seabass.
Well, and it's 777 yards rushing to 193 for Trinity. It's not 777. You tell him what it is.
It's 777.
I mean, that's tremendous on the ground, but not tonight, Bill.
I'll say there are a couple things I would consider if I'm Trenton Peabody at this time. One, I'd keep my routes intermediate. especially if you're going to attack a 6-3 corner in single coverage. But secondly, and Cooper Bogus is playing just fine, but I might consider some packages like we saw on that last drive when you've got Holbrook in taking direct snaps, and I would try to find a way to have Dixon, Holbrook, and a young man who I think probably needs more carries, and Jaquez Wilkins. And have all three of those guys, 3 different speed options there at the same time. I might consider running those packages.
No question about that. They've got a lot of weapons there, and Bogus can be a weapon somewhere other than quarterback also. Young man's got good hands and good speed. Dual threat quarterback.
Bryce Franks to kick off for Peabody. Trinity gets the ball to start the second half, and Franks puts toe to leather. We're underway. It's a short kickoff. Going to be taken at the 20. Running gladly and giving ground back to the 15-yard line. Out to the 20 along the numbers after reversing field out to the 24-yard line. Goes Riley Graves. Short kickoff return, and Trinity Christian will have the football to start the second half after the return of about 5 yards by Graves. The Lions will start.
He ran a long way.
24-yard line.
Ran a long way for 5 yards there.
He ran about 55 yards, didn't he?
That's how you cover a kickoff, though.
Absolutely.
You stay in your lanes, right? How many times we hear that back in high school?
At least once.
Stay in your lanes.
I still hear it every day.
And then what do we do? Get right out of the lanes. So here's Trinity. Tight formation. Man in motion. Left to right. Spurgeon going to dump it off in the backfield. Outside the numbers. Back to the line of scrimmage and pushing forward across the 25. Near the 26. It'll be a gain of a couple on first down.
Yeah, I give a lot of credit that time to Trenton Peabody because I love the play call. And Bryce Franks did a great job. He got isolated there to the short side with Kevin Davis on a little swing out into the short side flat and kind of kept him in front of him, waited for help to get there. That could have been a very explosive play.
Well, Spurgeon kept looking downfield to try to fool Peabody's defense, believe it, they couldn't fool him.
Kevin Davis is a pretty good safety valve over there.
A little bit.
Too. Yeah, and Bryce Franks played that well. Kept him to the sideline waiting for help.
Used the boundary as a defender.
Officially a gain of only a yard. 2nd and 9 on the ground this time. Trying to bounce it outside. Will move to the 30 and spun down at the 36-yard line. That is Kevin Davis. Davis will have right at 6 yards. It'll be third down and make it third down and 3 for Trinity from their own 31-yard line.
And attacking that short side. But, you know, Kevin Davis only 156 pounds. But even after contract, watch that, Danny. Drags these guys 3-4 yards. It's the second time he's done that.
Kevin Davis, only a junior. Third down and 3. Trinity from their own 31. Spurgeon with 4 wide receivers goes shotgun. Play clock at 10. Here's Spurgeon. Play clock down to 5, taking the snap, back to throw. Here comes the pressure, sacks. They got him this time back at the 21-yard line. And there on the sack for Peabody is J.C. Eubanks, the senior, sacking Spurgeon, and Trinity going to have to punt it away.
Yeah, and you can tell, remember Max Bates injured in the first half there, so they're not operating without one of their starters that time, and the left tackle that time just got beat badly on an inside move by Eubanks.
J.C. Eubanks, leading tackler on the team. That's his 8th sack of the season also.
So Trinity going to have to punt it away. Should get his foot into it around the 10-yard line. Under heavy duress, the punt is away, high and short. Going to hit at the Trinity 47 and kind of die right there. And that's where Peabody will take over 1st and 10. They start this drive in Trinity territory. 9:32 left in the third quarter. It's 7-0 Trinity. But here's Peabody and their first possession of the second half as we hit the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, I think as you look at this first half, Peabody's defense has played exactly like you would expect. TCA, a good football team, they'll be able to put a score on the board. I think offensively, not being able to sustain anything is really what's shocking this Peabody crowd.
Here's Peabody, 1st and 10 from the Trinity 46. Bogus goes shotgun. He's going to run it. Left side with some room to the 45, to the 40 along the hash mark. Inside the 40, and Bogus has the Trinity 37. He's just a little bit shy of the first down. He'll have 9.5 on first.
Well, the H that time, Franks was very patient, and so was Bogus. He didn't just attack that hole. Had he done that, he'd have run right into his lineman and maybe got 3 or 4 yards, but he was patient, allowed the play to develop in front of him.
Like Peabody going to come out and get physical here to start the second half. 9 minutes left, third quarter. Bogus shotgun. Bogus, he'll hand it off. Working right side, but hammered at the line of scrimmage. There's nothing there. And Dixon back to the line of scrimmage. He's not going to pick up that first down as he's hammered, working over right tackle.
Guys, that's Addison Coleman again from his Mike position, who is just absolutely whipping this Trenton Peabody offense.
Also in on the tackle was Mitch Sisk with some safety help.
Addison Coleman has whipped a lot of offense at Seabass. He's one of the leading tacklers in the area.
You're right, Lee. He is talented. Third down at a yard. Bogus going to keep it himself. Has the first, has the 35, has the 30 along the hash mark. Bogus is down to the 26-yard line. That's a 10-yard gain. That's a huge high-growth first down as the Tide moving the chains. With 8:15 left in the third quarter, it's 7-0 Trinity, but Peabody's on the move.
Well, excellent block by Kyle Oglesby, one of the guards that time for Trenton Peabody. It's patience again. That's what it's going to take, and that's what they're showing here on this drive.
First and 10, Peabody from the Trinity 26-yard line. Bogus out of the gun. He's going to work left tackle again. Bogus goes from the 26 inside the 25 and take it off his feet near the 22. Let's hit the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, Cooper Bogus, it's funny how athletes and genes run in families. Cooper Bogus, you might remember, is first cousin to the Overby boys that played at USJ. Jake, the outstanding quarterback, his brother went on to play baseball at Ole Miss Athletic Family.
Jake and Preston and Mike Overby, general manager for Central Distributors, here tonight. 2nd and 6. Dixon over right tackle, nothing. Hammered, line of scrimmage. He goes down it. Lee, it's unusual. It's kind of strange to see Dixon hammered at the line of scrimmage.
Well, it really is, and we talked in the first half about his lower body strength, and he is, but TCA defense really flying to the ball. And that time there's Coleman in again on that stop. He's everywhere.
It's Coleman from his Mike position. I mean, he's unchecked to the line of scrimmage, and he's meeting the ball carrier in the hole, and they're not going anywhere.
Big third down. 3rd and 5 for the Tide from the Trinity 22. Bogus out of the gun. He's going to work left tackle again and running 20, 15. Outside the numbers and out of bounds near the 11. He's going to have a first down. He picks up 9. It does Cooper Bogus. They found something over left tackle, and Cooper Bogus is exposing it.
Well, he's just letting the running back run right in front of him. The guard pulls out that time. Oglesby once again, and it's the one thing this TCA defense has not had an answer for tonight.
We didn't see that a lot in the first half, Lee.
No, and Bogus can do that. He's got good speed if he gets to the edge. But nice job there by the offensive line.
First and 10 from the 11 to the ground. Here's Dixon running over a tackler. Inside the 10 he goes, and finally wrestled down along the numbers at the 6. That's a 5-yard gain for Dixon on first down. Let's hit the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Boy, that's twice tonight that Harrison Freeman, that freshman linebacker I was talking about, had to take Dixon head-to-head, and he's going to be sore tomorrow, fellas.
And right now, I do not run anywhere other than off left tackle until they prove they can stop it.
2nd down and 6. Here is Bogus going to keep it. He's met at the 5 and struggles inside, and the ball's on the carpet. It's a fumble. No, they say he's down.
That's a good call.
1 as that ball comes squirting free. It looked like Bogus hit the carpet, and the ball pops straight up in the air. We'll watch the replay here as Cooper Bogus working left tackle once again. They had him at the line, but he just fought through there. You could watch. Bogus was down. A good call there. They mark him at the 2. It's 3rd down and a yard. Peabody can pick up a first down without getting to the end zone. They'll have to get just inside the 1. Bogus out of the shotgun, running it again. Left tackle, touchdown Peabody. Cooper Bogus, that was blocked well. And Bass Bogus just went right off of left tackle into the end zone for the Peabody touchdown.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was talking about. You don't vary away from what's working. Nice down block by the tight end that time to the power side, and Bogus runs right off his butt into the end zone.
Peabody an extra point away from tying the game. Isaiah Hicks in to attempt a point after. Snap, the place, and the kick. All perfect with 5:18 left in the third quarter. Our new score, Trinity Christian 7, Peabody 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Hickerson Automotive Group Incorporated is locally owned and operated by Richie and Andrea Hickerson and their team of automotive experts. Call or come by today and let Richie, Anthony, Seth, Eric, Scotty, or William help you find the parts and accessories you need to get back on the road. Hickerson Automotive Group in Trenton is home to Napa Legend batteries, custom-made hydraulic hose assemblies, as well as all your hometown automotive, industrial, and agricultural parts. Hickerson Automotive Group, your Trenton Napa Auto Parts store. Call 855-9370. Open Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. and open Saturday, 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. 2052 Highway 45 Bypass in Trenton.
Hey, we've even got the Super Bowl News Talk 101.5 FM.
Peabody's big play offense having to earn everything tonight. They converted 3 third downs on that scoring drive. Here's the kickoff. Going to drive. Trinity back inside the 5. In trouble with Davis. He retreats back to the goal line and tackled at the 6-yard line with flags lying inside the 10. Davis, not Davis. Riley Graves, I believe, on that return for Trinity Christian. We'll get another look at it, but
Riley Graves was called for the penalty. They're going to get Riley Graves for blocking the back. We talked about Desmond Tyler making plays. He got down there and forced that, but nice job on the kickoff. Davis never had a chance. He caught it with his back to the rest of the field.
Yeah, I said Riley Graves. I meant that penalty. You're right. It was Kevin Davis fielding that kickoff, and a great kickoff is where this all started, Bass, and it's going to have Trinity starting from the shadows of their own goalpost.
Yeah, and this is danger time for Coach Butler and this offense. They got to be very careful here.
Yeah, you got to ride that wave or that tide and try to hold Peabody down. It's tied at 7, but the momentum is completely changed here. First and 10. Spurgeon takes the shotgun snap out of the end zone. He'll go to the air deep down the sideline, and this pass is incomplete at the 35-yard line. A diving attempt by Riley Graves. He couldn't haul it in, but Spurgeon put it right on the money. Graves had a step or two. That could have been a huge play for Trinity.
And a straight go that time, just simply outruns the coverage. Can't look at him, but if he can hit him in stride, that could be 6.
I love the play call, though.
Oh, yeah.
Peabody with all the momentum, come back, try and run it, push it right at him.
Looked like Graves should have caught that ball.
Question in, do you do the same thing again?
No.
He had a step. He had the step with no safety help over the top.
Second down and 10. Just inside their own 5. Spurgeon back to the air, and it's incomplete. Low and incomplete. Trying to hit Lane Lambert out at the 10. Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, guys, Peabody couldn't ask for a better start to come out and get a drive, tie this thing up, and now, got TCA with the ball inside their own 5, looking at a 3rd and long.
3rd and 10, just inside their own 5. Trinity. The first half started, or the first half was played almost exclusively on Peabody's end of the field. Just the opposite here, the second half. Empty backfield for Spurgeon. Peabody with a 4-man front. Here's Spurgeon back to throw. Looking. Here comes the pressure. Spurgeon goes down at the 1. He had to step up to avoid the safety. He had some time to do that sack because of the Peabody secondary. No one was open.
Yeah, absolutely right. And sophomore DT Braxton Johnson just bowls over 2 guys and makes the tackle. Big play by the big fella, but you're absolutely right. That was about the secondary. That was the coverage sack.
Looked like Graves was coming open there across the middle lane, but by then the Peabody rush got to him.
No time to find Graves on that. He was running from his life. Luckily, got out of the end zone, as you said, avoided the safety.
And they'll have to avoid a safety here. The punter is standing just inside the end line. Out of the end zone, off the side of his foot, he shanked it. Going to be a short punt that will hit at the 21 and down at the 21. And the wheels are coming off here for Trinity with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the 3rd quarter. We're tied at 7, no view, but now Peabody, who started the scoring drive, on Trinity's end of the field. We'll start this one just outside of the red zone at the Trinity 21.
You know, and beating a team like Trenton Peabody for 2 quarters is one thing. A 4-quarter affair is a whole nother animal. TCA really needs to suck it up right here.
Albrook split out far, top of the screen. Back to Vargas, back to the left tackle. From the 21, along the numbers, inside the 20, Vargas is taken off his feet at the 16-yard line. And Peabody they found something, and they're going to run it and make Trinity stop them, or they're not going to stop running it.
Seabass called it right off the edge there, going with Cooper Vargas. They found something in that first drive of the third quarter, and they're sticking with it.
Well, they're using Franks to seal that in right there, and TCA's biting into it every single time, and then Cooper takes a step back and follows the tailback, so it's like he's got 2 lead blockers.
And the end is moving to the inside. He's making it easy for Franks to block him inside.
The pickup was 5 yards. It's 2nd and 5 from the Trinity 16. Here's Dixon working right guard with some room. Dixon inside the 15, down to the 10, breaks the tackle to the 5, into the end zone he goes. Touchdown Peabody. Joel Dixon from 15 yards away, and it looked like they had him stopped twice, and he come squirting out of the pile into the end zone with a Peabody touchdown, and the Tide take their first lead of the game.
You can see this coming a mile away. They tried to stack that left edge that time, and it left it a gap right there. Coleman wasn't there that time, and Dixon made them pay.
Look at that, 4 broken tackles by Dixon on his way to the end zone.
You can't arm tackle him.
Extra point is wide right, no good. So with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left in the third quarter, our new score, Peabody 13 and Trinity 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Roll Tide from Griffin Automotive in Trenton. We specialize in transmission work and diagnostics. Brian Griffin has 30 years of experience repairing transmissions, electrical problems, wiring issues, air conditioning, brakes, shocks, struts, oil changes, front and rear differential, and 4-wheel drive service and repair. Griffin Automotive also has tires for your vehicle. Griffin Automotive can fix anything but a broken heart. Trenton has trusted Griffin Automotive since 1998. Griffin Automotive, 403 East Eaton Street in Trenton. Open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Call 855-0558. That's 855-0558.
Welcome to Jackson's original News Talk FM. The information you want to hear at the office and on the road. Jackson's News Talk 101.5 FM.
Union City having a tough time with Fairleigh. 28-20, Union City leading, though, with 6 minutes left in the third quarter. Here's the kickoff. This one's going to come down at the 12, to the 15, 20. And the tackle at the 24-yard line. Edwards on the return, and Trinity now after 2 possessions and 2 3-and-outs, and they've seen Peabody within 2 possessions score on both of them. 13-0 run for Peabody View. The Tide have the lead for the first time tonight. It's a 6-point Trenton lead.
And I consider going this 5 wide receiver set again and spreading this Peabody defense out like they did in the first half. By the way, fourth quarter score from Dyersburg. Trojans leading Crockett County 21-6.
Spurgeon will go shotgun. One running back. That's Davis. He'll go in motion. Spurgeon back to throw. Across the middle. It's deflected, intercepted at the 30. Running laterally along the 30 to the numbers and tackled at the 27-yard line. But it's an INT for Peabody. On the interception is Cortland Wade. The strong safety. It was deflected, and Wade picked it out of the air. And Trenton has the ball right back after scoring twice here in the third quarter. They'll get a third chance at it, and they'll start this drive at the Trinity 27.
Yeah, that time trying to hit Sis. That ball just floated on Spurgeon a little bit. Just reaches a hand up to try to snag it down. Can't get a hold of it. Ends up an interception.
Here's Bogus out of the gun. He'll hand it off with some room from the 27 inside the 25 along the hash mark down to the 20 and taken down at the 19. That's a gain of 8 yards. And Lee, this is what happens. Peabody gets rolling, and it's hard to stop him.
Well, we saw in the last drive the power of Jarrell, and this time Jacquez Wilkins, the quickness, but he's got some power up the middle, but he's so quick, and that time he busted free, pickup of 7 yards.
Officially, it's a gain of 8 on first down as he stretches out at 2nd and 2 down at the 19. Here's Bogus out of the shotgun. Long is going to run it this time. Right tackle cuts back 15. Has the 10. Outside the numbers to the 5 to the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. But there's a flag coming in. A flag came in as Bogus broke free at the 5, and that's probably going to come back. You can hear some of the fans down below us. I don't think they agree with that call, do you?
I got to tell you, in this case, they're right. This is a terrible call. Eli Hammonds throws a beautiful block. Wasn't necessary, but a beautiful block just devastates his man and gets called for the hold.
Once his Bogus cuts back right, beautiful cutback.
Hey, look at that. What are you doing? What are you talking about there? That's not a hold.
Oh, Leah, that didn't look like much of a hold.
Yeah, and that's a big call, and that nullifies a big play for Peabody.
Well, yeah, you see he's got that's a great shot there. He's got the shoulder pads there. You grab the jersey, they can call it.
Yeah, and it's just a hand placement. He's not grabbing the jersey, and he just overwhelms and pushes him down. That's not a hold. His hand is open.
Well, it's a tough job.
Oh, then what are they? You mark it from the spot of the foul. They don't even know where they're marking the ball from.
Let's go down. Richard, the narrator. Barber's at his sideline. Here's the narrator.
Guys, Coach Shane Jenkins is having a come apart. He's arguing with officials, and evidently he's right because they're walking the ball up now because it's a spot of the foul flag, and so they were moving the ball back to the original line of scrimmage. Now they're going to place it on just about right inside the 15.
That's a tough break there for Peabody. I wouldn't argue with Lee or Bass on that one. 1st and 10 from the 14 of Trinity. Bogus goes shotgun again. He's going to work left tackle. Bogus sidesteps one tackle, and another flag comes out as Bogus will go down. Well, he won't go down. He'll be stopped at the 12, but there's another flag down holding Peabody.
I think they're going to get Bryce Franks there in the hold in the backfield. So we're going to come back 10 yards from the spot of the foul.
Well, think about it. Instead of being 20-7, and Bogus got in the end zone, 2 holding penalties, and it's going to be instead of a touchdown, it's Peabody's going to be back near their own 30-yard line.
Danny, let me show you this on the replay, because if you're calling this on Frank's 86 right here, let's get the replay of this and watch number 86. If that's holding right there, I'm a banjo. Look at that. Now that's turning your man and just taking him down.
He whipped him.
I mean, I don't understand that call. That's 2 in a row, and I really don't get it.
Well, 1st down in 24 from the 29. Dixon, right tackle, 25, 20. Hings down to the 16, or near the 15. That's a gain of right at 15. Let's go down to the narrator. On the sideline is Richard Barber.
Well, I hear y'all talking about those holes and watching on replays and not agreeing. Obviously, I'm down here by the fence on the Peabody side. The crowd don't agree. Stepped over to Shane Jacobs. He don't agree. Nobody agrees with those calls.
Pick up a 9. On 1st down, here's Dixon straight ahead from the 15. He'll have the 11, a gain of 4 to bring up 3rd down. Peabody's got to get just inside the 5 to pick up a fresh set of down.
Yeah, and I think Dixon's starting to wear on this front for TCA and really the front 7. And you're starting to see a little bit more push as well by this offensive line. They're not pulling. They're just straight ahead blocking, getting out of their stance, firing out and winning.
We just dipped inside of a minute left in the 3rd quarter. Peabody 13, Trinity Christian 7. 3rd and 7. Bogus will keep it right tackle. 5. Bogus dives in zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Cooper Bogus, that's how good he is. He made one man miss at the line of scrimmage, made another one miss at the 5, and he just left his feet and dove into the end zone for the Peabody touchdown. That one's going to cover 12 yards, and Peabody adds to the lead. And View, more importantly, well, just as important, I should say, they overcame 2 holding penalties to get in the end zone on this drive.
Yeah, they're really starting to take over at the point of attack right now and asserting their will.
Here's 6 in to attempt a point after. 6 extra point this time, splits the uprights, and with 39 seconds left in the 3rd quarter, on new score, Peabody 20. And Trinity Christian 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
Eddie and Clint Sturgeon at Eddie's Pharmacy say roll tide. Eddie's Pharmacy offers free delivery and 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy is a Health Mart pharmacy. We have 2 drive-through windows for your convenience. Hay flu season begins in the fall and peaks over the winter. Don't wait till it's too late. Get your flu shot at Eddie's. Plus, Eddie's Pharmacy offers vaccinations, B12 shots for a burst of energy. And if you have medications that require injection, we'll be happy to take care of that. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 6, Saturday, 8 to 2, plus 24-hour emergency service. Eddie's Pharmacy, 114 Davy Crockett Shopping Center, Trenton.
More than just the headlines. Get the real story here. Your source for news, weather, sports, and traffic. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Peabody with 20 unanswered points after trailing 7-0 at halftime. They've got 20 points here in the second half as Peabody. Trinity yet to record a first down. Here's a kickoff from the 10, 15, 20, 25 to the 30. Outside the numbers, here is Davis scampering out of bounds, crossing the 35 at the 37-yard line. And that's where Trinity will take over. And a late flag comes in. I mean, that was half a minute after the play ended.
Yeah, I think we had some words there. Van Diver was involved in that. Not sure the number for TCA. Van Diver's he's going to get downfield. He's going to make a play, and that time he kind of got on someone's nerves. I think they pushed him after the whistle had blown.
Yeah, this is easy to see. This is way after the play. I didn't get the number for TCA, but he just went over and just knocked Van Diver straight to the ground as he was walking off the field.
Well, that's a huge mistake there. Instead of starting out across the 35-yard line, they're going to mark that one off.
See if we can follow this.
Davis had a nice return at the 37-yard line. Let's go to the sideline. Wrench with the narrator, Barber.
Yeah, TCA trying to snatch some momentum back. They didn't need a play like that personal foul play as they try to put a drive together here right at the end of the third quarter.
29 seconds left in the third quarter. 20-7 Peabody. Trinity starts from their own 23. Spurgeon in the gun. 3 wide receivers for Matt Spurgeon. Here's Matt back to throw. Plenty of time. Looking, firing deep down the center of the field. It's intercepted. Peabody to the 50, to the 45, to the 40, to the 35. Chris crossing to the 30, to the 25, 20. Outside the numbers and down the sideline and into the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Logan Wade. 55-yard interception return for the Peabody touchdown. And this third quarter has been disastrous for Trinity, but for Peabody View, everything's going right.
Yeah, trying to hit the deep post that time, and Cortland Wade, one of 3 defenders on the ball that time, goes up high, points it, snags it, gets a couple of blocks, and takes it back down to the house. Man, this game is busted wide open.
Cortland Wade made a fantastic return for that touchdown. Officially, that was, let's see, 54 yards officially. He picked that one off at the 46-yard line. Peabody brought it back to the house. Still no first downs here in the second half for Trinity. But Peabody with 26 points. Here's 6 for the extra points. It splits the uprights with 10 seconds left in the third quarter. Our new score, Peabody 27. Trinity Christian 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Nothing changes and improves the look of your home like new floor covering and furniture. Anderson's Furniture and Floor Covering has beautiful hardwood, ceramic tile, luxury vinyl, sheet vinyl from Armstrong Flooring and Shaw. They even have gorgeous area rugs. Anderson Furniture carries Vaughn, Bassett, Ashley, Mayo, and Lazy Boy for living room, bedroom, and dining room. And bedroom furniture from Jamison, Wayne, and Symbol. Free delivery and setup in Gibson and a 35-mile radius. Open Monday through Friday, 8 to 5:30, Saturday, 8 to 4:30. Anderson's Furniture and Floor Covering since 1951. 110 South Highland Street in Trenton. Call 855-1311. That's 855-1311.
Direct to your home, in your car, or at work. All your information with no satellite dish required. Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 FM.
Here's Peabody kicking off again to the 20, to the 25. Davis on the return out across the 25 and scampers out of bounds at the 29. Do have an update pass on Milan and South Gibson. Milan 27, South Gibson 7. Heron.
Wow.
Heron with an 80-yard pick six. And they're in the fourth quarter over there. Boy, I didn't see a blowout win tonight for Milan, did you?
No, I mean, it's not housed yet, but it's getting close. And here's one from the reservation for you guys as we start the fourth quarter. Northside locked in a good one with Montgomery Central. The Indians leading 28-20.
Wow, Northside had a 28-7 lead, narrator, but Montgomery's come storming from behind as that kickoff was the final play of the third quarter. Narrator, Trinity, I know they've got to make up 20 points, but I'm sure they're glad to see that third quarter go away. No first downs for Trinity in the third quarter for TCA, but 27 points scored by Peabody in the third quarter.
Well, they got TCA on their heels. One thing it's going to get away from the game plan. You could tell coming in that TCA wanted to shorten this game. They went deep into the play clock on every play, and now they don't have the luxury of that. They got to make up some ground.
On to the fourth quarter we go. Peabody with a 27-7 lead. Trinity will start at their own 24. Timeouts, Peabody.
A couple scores for your fourth quarter. Riverside leading Lewis County, blanking Lewis County 14-0. And here's a fourth quarter score for you guys. Springfield 7, Southside 6.
Wow. Haywood 42-7 over Ripley. That's no surprise. Lake County putting a rented mule on West Carroll 48-0.
Last score we had on Union City, 28-20. You have an update on that, Seabass?
Don't have that one yet. We'll get that to you. But Huntington starting the third quarter, leading Mount Pleasant 42-6.
Anything but Mount Pleasant for Mount Pleasant today. Mount Misery tonight at Paul Ward Stadium for Mount Pleasant.
Hey, this was a second quarter score, guys, but we haven't had an update since McNary 24, Covington 21.
Wow. Oh, but Milan. Be glad to hear that. That means they'd host next week if they hold on to this big lead over South Gibson. 8 minutes left in the game over there. And Milan with the advantage. 27-7. Spurgeon to the air. Got a man open at the 35. It's caught to the 40. Down the sideline and out to the 44-yard line. That's a gain of by Jennings of 14 yards and a Hughes I Group first down for Trinity Christian Academy. 11:49 left in the game. It's 27-7. Peabody, 27 unanswered points, and that is the first down of the second half for Trinity. And they're running a 2-minute drill, and I don't blame them.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
No, 5 wide, empty backfield. Spurgeon out of the gun. Throws a short pass. It's caught at the 50 and sliding down into Peabody territory at the Trenton 48-yard line. That's going to be a gain of right at 7 yards on first down.
Yeah,
and here comes the flag late. Some extracurricular after the play. And the backfield, we'll see who this is on.
Well, it's the same two players that got mixed up in that interception on that pick six.
Oh, and they're going to call it on TCA.
Well, it's one of the TCA. It's the same TCA offensive lineman. He got whipped bad on that pick six return, and he will not stop jawing at the official about him and his interaction with number 78, sophomore defensive tackle Braxton Johnson. They've been after each other for the last 5 minutes, and the young man just won't stop.
Well, that's a critical mistake there, Lee. You just get moved into Peabody territory. You can't afford mistakes like this down by 20.
A couple of positive plays there to start this fourth quarter, and you nullify those with a just a stupid penalty, to be honest.
Greenfield 25 at Freedom Prep 20. Look at Greenfield trying to move to the third round of the playoffs. Second down and 20 after that penalty. Spurgeon back to the air, deep down the far sideline. He overshoots his intended receiver. Looking for Jennings. Missed him at the 30. Third down and long.
I'm just curious why we're not seeing Davis on these go routes. You know, we're seeing everybody but Davis on the straight go. He's the one guy that even if you're in position, what's the old saying, fellas? If you're even, you're leaving. Well, that's what you get with Davis, and I'm not seeing that. I'm seeing everybody but him on those goes.
Well, we've seen Davis make some miraculous catches in double coverage where it looked like he had no business making the catch. 3rd and 18. TCA at their own 37-yard line. 10:58 left in the game. 27-7 Peabody. Spurgeon empty backfield, 5 wide. Here comes the pressure. Spurgeon rolls left. Looking. Spurgeon sacked. They got him. He held it as long as he could. Trying to find a receiver, give a man time to get open, but Dixon ran him down along with, was that Henderson with him?
Jaime Hernandez.
But, guys, the play was made, though, by Rafe Hanna, who was pursuing him the entire time. He was never able to stop and set and fire because Hanna was pursuing him the whole time.
4th down and a country mile. Trinity just going to have to punt it away with 10:15 remaining. No one back deep for Trenton. They just going to let it roll inside the 30. And it'll die at the 27-yard line, and that's where Peabody will take over. They've scored every time they've touched the ball here in the second half. It's 27-7 Peabody as we hit the sideline at Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, I think what we're seeing from Peabody is what we expected to see. You know, obviously, y'all kept referencing that coming off left tackle, what they were able to do there. They get a couple of turnovers, and the wheels are just coming off for TCA here. High school football, quarter don't last long, guys.
Well, 27-7 Peabody shut out in the first half. They've scored every time they've touched it here in the second half. This is the first possession of the fourth quarter. Bonga's going to keep it. Room 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. One man to beat at the 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10, to the 5, to the end zone. Touchdown, Peabody. Cooper Bongas. 73 yards, one play, 73 yards for the Peabody touchdown. And the tide is high, and they're going to roll on Buford. It's 33-7 Peabody. Boy, things changed in a hurry. The first half was controlled and dictated by Trinity. This second half, Peabody's just done whatever they wanted to.
In the first half, Trenton looked like the better, TCA looked like the better football team. And a good game plan going, but they got hit in the mouth early in the second and the third quarter, and they just never recovered. And now they're completely gassed.
Hicks in attempt to point after. Hicks' kick is perfect with 9:50 remaining. In the fourth quarter, our new score, Peabody 34 and Trinity Christian 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 at WNWS.com.
Legal problems don't always arise Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. When you need an attorney, you need them now. This is Bradley Owens of Hardy Martin & Owens Law Firm. Add my cell number to your contacts, 234-2400. That's 234-2400. At Hardy Martin & Owens, we handle all types of legal problems, including personal injury, workers' compensation, divorce and family law, estates, and criminal defense. With offices in Jackson and Trenton, let Hardy Martin & Owens handle all your legal needs. 424-2151 or on my cell, 234-2400.
Tipping the scales in your favor.
Did you say football? High school game of the week, the SEC championship, and the NFL on Monday nights. News Talk 101.5 FM. 101.5 FM.
Mercy, Peabody, when they explode. It's 34 points in the second half. Every time they've touched the ball, they've hit big hurts. Here's the kickoff. It's a ground ball, going to be scooped up at the 21 on the far side and out to the 30 on the kickoff return for Trinity. Bringing it back that time is Riley Graves. I tell you, it's just we're getting ready to pause for station ID 0108. 0108 for our stations down the line and west of the Rockies. I mean, it's just been, this is how explosive Peabody can be. And it's on full display here in the second half.
Yeah, this is much more, I think, much more the real Trenton Peabody here in the second half.
You got to give a lot of credit to Trinity at first half, huh? Here's Spurgeon across the middle. That was nearly intercepted. Let's go down to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, obviously what Peabody wants to do here is just not make any mistakes, keep everything in front of them, and then, you got 9 minutes left in a 34-7 lead. You ought to be able to get home with it.
Milan now 29-7. Advantage over South Gibson. They're going to move on. Here's Spurgeon. He's sacked. They got him again. This time at the 21. Lee, that's something Peabody couldn't accomplish in the first half. Get pressure on Spurgeon. Here in the second half, they've got to him several times.
Yeah, no pressure at all in that first half. Nice job by the defensive front. Osiris Wilson that time, a senior, huge kid, very strong. He won a weightlifting meet down in Alabama back in the spring. He just overpowered his man, got to Spurgeon, and Spurgeon never had a chance.
Plato Bassett, that big lineman, Max Spades, but he went out late in that first half. That's when the pressure started getting to
It's
Spurgeon.
like we're sharing the same brain.
Well, that's scary.
That's scary.
Good news for you, though, Bass. Here's a swing pass to Davis. Out the flat, out to the 27 before he's rocked. It's a gain of 5 by Kevin Davis. Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification. You're listening to Peabody Football.
This is WNWS FM Jackson. News brought to you by the Hughes Eye Group, the best in medical and surgical eye care. 112 Stonebridge, Jackson.
My name's Dan Reaves, along with Seabass, Lee Hayes, Richard, the narrator, Barber on the sideline, Jonathan Greer producing and directing, Drew Magruder, Paul Schultze, Lawson Mann, Michael Osborne. 4th down, and Trinity got to punt it away again. And Peabody going to let it roll down to the 36-yard line. So Peabody, 5 possessions here in the second half, 5 touchdowns. The only thing that you can complain about is a missed PAT. It's 34-7 Peabody. And believe it or not, at halftime it was 7-0 Trinity Christian. Now it's 34-7 Peabody, and Trinity has 1 first down in the second half.
I expected Trenton to come out and play well here in the third quarter, in the second half of this football game, but not to this extent. I mean, good night.
Well, and they say the wheels came off. Wheels came off. And Peabody, jeez, 1st and 10 from their own 36. Going nowhere this time, but backwards.
Wow.
Yeah, now it's, I don't know, there's been a couple of plays. The refs waited to the last minute to blow the whistle. That was one of those.
Yeah, refs had a pretty tough game tonight.
Yeah.
I know I've spent most of the time over here on the Peabody sideline, and Shane Jacobs is he's worked hard over here, I'll say that.
Well, Lee, I guess we can go ahead and let go of our 17 to 20 seconds that ticked away in the first half. I don't think we're going to need those, but it could have been.
Can we carry it over to next week? Maybe?
I guess we could. Second down and long. To the ground, working left tackle. On the carry, Jacquez Wilkins will move out to the 37. That's a gain of about 3. It'll be 3rd down and 9.
Now, one thing I make sure of is if I'm Coach Jacobs' staff, Cooper Bogus does not carry that football again. He doesn't take another hit.
Absolutely, and also just keep the clock moving.
It's rolling, 6:50 left here in the 4th quarter. Trinity has no desire to stop the clock either. 34-7 Peabody. This is the 6th possession of the second half for Peabody. They've scored on their first 5. 3rd down and 9 here. They're going to run it right side, not much there. Bogus under carry. He'll have a yard. His 4th down and 8.
And we didn't make a very good coach there.
What do I know, man? By the way, it's gone final in Dyersburg. Trojans still undefeated, moving on to the quarters with a 28-12 win over Crockett County.
It's a good showing, though, I think, for Crockett County. A narrative rebuilding year for Crockett County. Kevin Warren had his team into the second round, and they had a respectable showing against a team that's now 12-0.
Yeah, because I don't remember what the score of the was during the regular season meeting, but it wasn't a competitive game. Sounds like Crockett County did make it competitive tonight. Lots to look forward to coming.
Well, in that first meeting, just a couple of, well, on October the 26th, it was 13-0 Crockett County, but then Dyersburg won it going away 41-27. Dyersburg beat Memphis East last week 63-0. Now, East hadn't won a game all year, but was still in the playoffs. Lee, what do you make of that? So many teams in the playoffs, you even have to take teams that have not won a game.
Well, 51 teams in the playoffs were under 500. 3 of those won last week in round 1. So, some of them did come out and play competitive, but yeah, I don't know what the answer is, but it's not allowing a 0-9 team in the playoffs.
Well, they were in the playoffs before the season started.
Absolutely. They, in their summer workouts, they knew they were in the playoffs regardless of how they finished.
Peabody going to punt it away. 4th down and right at 10. Trinity going to let it hit at the 35. It'll roll inside the 30 and roll down to the 27 before it dies, and that's where Trinity will take over. Trinity did burn a timeout. 6 minutes and 16 seconds left. Peabody 34 and Trinity Christian Academy 7. It was 7-0 at halftime, Trinity. Wow. Lee, any update on Union City?
Still 28-20 last score we had, and that was 6 minutes left in the third quarter. So not sure what's happened since then. That's been several minutes ago since that was updated.
So Union City had the lead. If that holds, then next week Union City would be here to take on the tie. Spurgeon throwing deep down the field at the 40 and overshooting Kevin Davis and incomplete.
Which is not easy to do. That was the simple fact of the matter. There wasn't enough air under that football. But let's remember something that Spurgeon's been out all year. So that touch that would probably be there this time is not quite there. Plus the snap was on at his feet.
You see how good he is, too, boy.
Oh yeah. He just needs to, because if he gives it a little more air, Davis can run right under that ball for a touchdown.
2nd and 10. Trinity from their own 28. Here is Spurgeon, back to the air, across the middle, and it's dropped. Riley Graves, the intended receiver, and Graves has done this tonight. Some other Trinity he was trying to fall down, but he didn't need to, and make that catch.
Take a look at this pass and see if that pass led him that way. No, not really.
Fell the other way. I think he was trying to avoid the hit.
Yeah, that's happened tonight a few times. 3rd and 10. Spurgeon shotgun. And he lost the football. That's a fumble. Who's got it? No signal yet. Peabody says
Jacquez Wilkins.
Still no signal. And Spurgeon, he cocked that right arm to throw the football, and that ball just came loose. And they say Trinity able to recover the fumble. That ball just squirted free, Bass. It's cold tonight. A little damp. That ball is slick.
Yeah.
Slipped out of his hand.
Cold and wet. He hardly ever had that ball. When he tried to go up he did not have a hold of it when he tried to raise that hand.
4th down and 10. And Trinity going to go for it. Or maybe it's more likely 4th down and nearly 20. Near the 20-yard line of Trinity. Clock moving. 5:20 left in the game. Here's Spurgeon back to throw. He'll fire deep down the center of the field, and this pass is caught at the 47-yard line of Trenton, and then a personal foul going to come on top of that. It's Kevin Davis. That's what Bass has been begging for. That's 27 yards at a Hughes I Group first down, and then tag on another 15.
Well, and that was just a stupid play by Jaquez Wilkins, because, as we all know, you go down to the ground in high school football, you're down. Davis pops back up, and Wilkins gives him a little shot there.
I don't think it was anything malicious, but it was not a smart
But you're going to throw that flag every single time, as you should.
Absolutely.
Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Yeah, and the coaches over here immediately, they had a few words to say about that. You don't want to make dumb plays when you got a game.
Here's Spurgeon back to the air. Got Graves. It's complete at the 29. 4:54 left in the game, and it's academic, but it's 34-7. as Peabody leads the game.
And if you don't do a few pump fakes, you're going to get a couple of these receivers killed, because right now Dixon is coming up and he is looking to kill somebody. Oh, and he almost did. Graves ducked down just in time.
The gain was 4, 2nd and 6. Spurgeon back to throw again. Under pressure, Spurgeon rolls right. Still looking downfield. Fires into the end zone. It's deflected and incomplete out of the back of the end zone. It was a nice play by Spurgeon, though. Knowing where he was out on the field, didn't cross the line of scrimmage, and gave his receiver in the end zone a chance to make a play.
He gave him a chance, but Lambert was open a little bit earlier in the route, and of course the pressure was on, and Spurgeon may have thrown that ball just a little late.
Drew Magruder with us here. Drew, when the dam gave way, it gave way.
That Peabody offense, you can't stop it once it gets going. Hard to stop.
3rd and 6 for Trinity from the Peabody 29. Spurgeon empty backfield. Back to throw. Fires, got a man open at the 20, and it's short. It skips to his intended receiver, Davis. It'll go incomplete. It'll be 4th down and 6 for Trinity.
This is the longest that the starters have had to play all year long. All the way back to August.
The Gibson County game.
Gibson County.
Well, Gibson County, yeah. But notwithstanding the Gibson County game, the starters, at least for 3-4 weeks, haven't played this long.
Right.
And they're looking pretty good.
Yeah. Well, the deeper into the game, the better they've looked tonight.
Yeah, no doubt.
4th down and 6 for Trinity from the Peabody 29 is Spurgeon. Back to the air he goes. It's deflected and incomplete. Got tipped at the line of scrimmage. And Trinity will turn it over on downs to the Tide with 4 minutes and 3 seconds left in the game. Let's see who got their hand on that one.
Looked like Franks.
Was it Franks? Bryce Franks. Yep, look at that great camera work there by Worthy Road Studios. There he is.
Our very own czar of the telestrator, if you will.
Lawson Man. He's a Gibson County guy. What do you do when Gibson County is eliminated? Root for Trenton?
Yep, no, Trinity.
Okay. Here's Peabody on the ground with some room is Jacques Wilkins. He'll move from the 29, crossing the 35 out near the 40. Gain of 11 and a first down for the Tide.
I like Wilkins. He's a young man he's exciting. He's not a big dude, but man, he does a lot of those spins that you'll see. And one of the things I like about him, he does it under control. Not everybody can do that. If you're going to spin, you keep it tight, Danny. You know what I mean?
He's been doing it all year.
Yeah, you got to hold that ball inside. Let's go to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Guys, coaches feel pretty good about their score when they lean over and ask you got anything on the Union City Fairleigh game?
Here is Wilkins again, bouncing it outside with 45-50, 45-40, 35-30. Down the sideline he goes. He gone. 20, 10, 5, touchdown. 60 yards. Wilkins around left hand and turned on the Jets and outran the Trinity secondary to pay dirt. And Peabody has put 40 points on the scoreboard here in the second half with 3:07 remaining. And again, this team was shut out in the first half.
Yeah, it's ostensibly possible that we could be under the mercy rule here in just a second.
Isn't that incredible?
That is crazy, man. I halfway expected to hear you say, he gone.
I did say it. I did.
Did you? I didn't hear it.
You don't listen, do you?
Not much.
The extra point is up, and it's good with 3 minutes and 7 seconds left. In the fourth quarter, our new score, Peabody 41. And Trinity Christian 7 on Jackson's News Talk, 101.5 and WNWS.com.
It's the competition crusher sales event going on now at Sarah Jackson. We will beat any dealer on any Chevy, period. 2018 Chevy Spark starting at $11,921 and payments as low as $184 a month. 2018 Chevy Sonic starting at $14,999 and payments as low as $239 a month. You can save over $12,000 on new 2018 Silverados. Big city deals, small town hospitality, only at Sarah Jackson. One destination, so many choices. Rushing the competition every day in every way.
Monday Night Football with the NFL. Only on News Talk. 101.5 FM.
Milan has knocked off South Gibson 29-14. Close game. Milan had a pick six. South Gibson with 3 turnovers. Difference in the game tonight. And Milan moves on to the third round of the playoffs. Here's Peabody's kickoff. It's short. Going to be taken at the 20, 25 to the 30 to the 35 and out of bounds. Crossing to 35.
The cream is definitely rising to the top, wouldn't you say, Dan?
Yeah. Oh, yeah? We just got a text saying, how does a Jackson radio station be so biased against the Jackson team?
So biased.
Well, these are all kids, and so we can't, if Trenton breaks a big play, we can't say, well, darn. We call it the same for both teams. They're all kids. At least I think they are. Last time I checked, they're high school kids. So here is Trinity now with 2:59 left. They'll strive for their own 38. Here's Spurgeon. He's sacked. Oh, boy, shot out of a cannon.
J.C. Eubanks on that sack.
Yeah, the senior J.C. Eubanks view, and he just came clean, and Eubanks has had a big night tonight.
Yeah, Spurgeon taking a big shot, and that's the second time the left tackle's been beaten on that inside move.
I think that would be 9 sacks on the year for Eubanks.
What a season. Jackson Northside wins a classic tonight, 28-26 over Montgomery Central. So the Indians are off to round 3 of the playoffs. Here's Spurgeon to the air, fires it out incomplete at the 30. How about them Indians now? 8-4 in the season. Montgomery Central ends their season. It's 11, or make it 10-2. So a quality opponent. Northside beats tonight at Thurman Reynolds Stadium, and Northside's at home next week for the third round of the state playoffs. They'll either play host to Springfield or Jackson Southside. That was a 7-6 Springfield lead. That's a close game.
In the fourth quarter, hopefully the Hawks make a little rally there. I'd love to see a rematch of that inner-city battle, man. How great would that be?
Boy.
With a ticket to the semis on the line?
Boy.
Kidding me?
See if we can get an update on Southside. Two minutes and 21 seconds remaining. In the fourth quarter, 41-7 Peabody. And a snap gets by Spurgeon. He has to run it down. He's in trouble back at the 10. And Matt is dumped at the 13. Oh, boy. But, boy, I know Trinity just wonders what could have been if Matt Spurgeon would have been in quarterback at all season. One thing for sure, they wouldn't be playing Peabody in the second round of the playoffs.
Right, and there's the point right there. I mean, somewhere down the line, yeah, maybe, but not this early. And it's clear they're a much better team with him.
Oh, boy, 13-6 now Springfield. A pick six just moments ago. Springfield leading Jackson Southside 13-6. Northside won 28-26 over Montgomery Central, so the Indians off to the third round. Looks like they'll be playing Springfield unless Southside can pull a miracle. Timeouts. Trinity. A minute 41 left in the fourth quarter. It's Peabody 41 and Trinity Christian 7 on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
MasterFit Medical Equipment is on a mission, and that mission is to serve everyone with premium medical equipment at savings you wouldn't find elsewhere. At MasterFit, we represent over 200 medical equipment and supply manufacturers and over 90,000 products, with much of it in our warehouse right here in Jackson. Defibrillators, monitors, EKGs, pumps, sensors, and more. So when you need more affordable medical equipment, call MasterFit Medical Equipment at 554-1223.
News Talk 101.5 FM, the home of Monday Night Football. Monday Night Football.
Boy, the upset in the making here. Ravenwood with a 29-22 lead over unbeaten Cane Ridge in the fourth quarter, View.
Yeah, there's some people who felt like Cane Ridge had a shot at that 6A title, and they still do. It's not over.
Here's Spurgeon back to throw, and Spurgeon in trouble. Sacked. Oh, and it's fumbled, scooped up by Trinity, crossing the 15 out to the 20 and tackled out to the 24-yard line. Well, Spurgeon was sacked and fumbled it, and Trinity scooped it up, but it's going to be shy of the first down. Peabody will take over, Drew, and just been announced next week's opponent, and it's a familiar name. Union City's going to be here. Holy moly.
Oh, yeah, and Peabody had a tough game with Union City at the beginning of the year. Looking forward to that rematch.
Final in Springfield. Yellow Jackets 13 and Southside 6. Oh, boy. What a great year for the Southside Hawks. Will end tonight in the second round of the playoffs. 13-6 to Springfield. And Southside finishes 10-2 on the year. We're 9-0. Lost one of their best players. Lost two of them. Got one back, Bowers, but Latham unable to make it back. Let's go down to the sideline and Richard, the narrator, Barber.
Well, Peabody and this coaching staff showing a lot of classes that are, a minute 25 when they got the ball. So they're just going to take a knee 3 times and put this one in their pocket.
A late touchdown. Cane Ridge has tied that game up with
Ravenwood, they have. It's probably the young man from Milan who's had a great year at Cane Ridge.
Jaquez
Norman, who was kicked off Milan's team and went to Cane Ridge, and he's been a superstar there for the 6A Cane Ridge team, who played Maryville for the state championship last year. I think the Bulldogs could have used him, huh?
Seemed to be doing all right.
He seemed to be doing all right.
But yeah.
I don't think he would. I think he's probably glad that he made that move. What a year he's had.
He's getting a lot more exposure, but what about Teddy Pettigrew, man?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, what about Teddy Pettigrew?
It looked for a little while like Milan may not make the playoffs, and now they're off to the third round of the state playoffs. And we need to find out about McNary and Covington, because if McNary had a lead on Covington, if McNary holds on, they'd have to go to Milan next week. Final score here as the clock has just hit triple zeros. It was 7-0 at halftime, Trinity Christian Academy. Peabody 34 points in the third quarter, and they won it 41-7. Peabody now 11-1 on the year. McNary, Covington now has come from behind and take a 35-24 lead over McNary. 11 minutes left in the fourth quarter there. And the bracket is set. They would have Milan hosting next week. But in the third round, does it still kick in? Do you know, Drew, if it's a region matchup, then the team with a higher seed gets the host?
No, I think this year they rotated. If there's in the same region, the team with the best record does get the host. In the same region. Okay. Just like Union City coming here, we got the highest, we got that better record.
Okay, you win the region, you get the host. Even if it's set up to where you're in the brackets, that you would be able to host a game. If it happens to be a region matchup, it doesn't matter. Because Union City was scheduled to host it, is in the bracket where they'd have been able to. If Fairleigh would have won, Peabody would have had to go on the road next week. So Union City's going to have to come here to Peabody next week.
And another big matchup, Haywood goes to Dyersburg. Now tonight, Haywood played on artificial turf. They're going to be playing on artificial turf next week.
Boy, that sneaky Steve Hookford, huh?
Now, he was looking forward to this rematch in the playoffs. And he was hoping it would come down to this.
And you get a game on the turf to get you ready to play in the carpet up at Dyersburg.
Winner goes to the state semis.
I bet you drive over there to Brownsville, and that field looks just like a golf course.
A public golf course.
Sneaky Steve Hookford. Hook's a great guy, great coach. They won big tonight. Springfield knocks off Southside 13-6. And Medina Funeral Home and Cremation Service update. Covington 35, McNary 30 now. And I'm not sure how much time's left in that game. In the fourth quarter, Freedom Prep has come from behind to take a 28-25 lead over Greenfield. Whoa. Well, Trinity had a great season, Bew. It was ups and downs, but when you lose your starting quarterback before the season begins, you can expect some up and downs, and that's what happened this year for Trinity. But they put it together. They play a great first half that the talent of Peabody kind of takes over in the second half. Trinity actually led 7-0 at halftime. The narrator's down in the field. Let's go down. Richard, the narrator, Barber, down on the 35-yard line. Narrator. Well, the narrator just kind of hanging out. Narrator, see if we can get old Tab Val on the you leave one earpiece in.
At least one. Maybe half of one.
Go down to narrator. Now see if we're not looking at him, he starts banging on his microphone.
Wow, I mean, he's only 18 years in on the gig.
Yeah.
I mean, can't expect much.
Let's go down to the narrator. He's down in the field. Richard, the narrator, Barber, narrator.
Wow.
Jeez.
If we get the guy, the house announcer to say, hey, narrator.
Hey, narrator. So Peabody wins it. They're going to host Union City next week in the third round of the Class 2A state playoffs right here at Walter Kilzer Stadium next Friday night. Oh, boy. Jackson Northside wins tonight. They move on into playoffs. Dyersburg wins. Milan beats South Gibson. Covington's trying to hang on against McNary. Haywood wins. They're going to meet Dyersburg in a rematch next week up in Dyersburg. We'll take a timeout and come back and hit the scoreboard and also start setting these brackets for matchups at round 3 of the state playoffs on Jackson's News Talk 101.5 and WNWS.com.
When you step into King Jewelers, you're stepping into a family-owned business with nearly 30 years of experience. Let Grover King set you up with estate jewelry or the amazing Citizen Echo Drive watch, as well as custom-designed jewelry. King Jewelers buys gold and silver, offers Rolex repair, as well as watch and jewelry repair. Check out the selection of gemstone jewelry and diamond stud earrings. Store hours are Monday through Friday, 9:30 till 5:30 and 10 till 2 on Saturday.
King Jewelers, 16B Conrad Drive, and a brand new King Jewelers location in downtown Jackson.
Choose the best one. When it comes to choosing the right tires for your vehicle, we want to make it easy for you to choose the best one. At Best One Tire, we have thousands of passenger and light truck tires in stock, including Michelin, BF Goodrich, Uniroyal, Bridgestone, and Firestone. When you buy your tires from Best One Tire, you'll receive free nitrogen inflation. And we rotate and balance your tires free for the life of the tire. Also, with every free tire rotation, we do a free brake inspection. In addition to tires, we offer oil changes, wheel alignments, and complete brake service. We want your business for generations to come. Your family is our family at Best One Tire. Let us put you safely on the road. Call us at 660-4072. Best One Tire, just off Highway 412 at the Country Club exit, just down from 84 Lumber, and at 1180 South Dupree in Brownsville. Best One Tire.
What? 30 seconds to tell them about Rockin' Dough Pizza? Here goes. Try Rockin' Dough's ZZ Tots, shredded potatoes, cheddar, Havarti with a sriracha aioli. Or the Blues Burger, blackened beef, blue cheese, arugula with truffle mayo and a balsamic reduction. The Cuban Grinder with pork, ham, Swiss, pickles, garlic, basil aioli, and a grained mustard. The Super Freak Pizza, my favorite. White sauce, spicy Italian sausage with caramelized onions and honey. And their fantastic Sunday brunch. Rockin' Dough in the Jackson Walk Plaza, a slice of the good life.
Do you have cataracts, glaucoma, or any form of eye disease? At Hughes Eye Center, our physicians include residency-trained optometrists, surgical ophthalmologists, retinal surgeons, and oculoplastic surgeons, all right here in Jackson, Tennessee at Hughes Eye Center. There's no need to drive to Memphis or Nashville for your surgical eye care needs. Call 664-1994 to schedule your consultation. At Hughes Eye Center on Stonebridge in Jackson, that's 664-1994.
All right, boys, this is it. Yeah. You've got to lay it all out on the line. Give it all you got. Yeah. I want to see more dunks. Yeah. In buffalo sauce. Yeah. Garlic parmesan and bourbon barbecue. Now, I want you to go out there and get us some Dunk Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches from Sonic.
But, Coach, what about the second half?
Halves? What have I told you guys about halves?
Whole sandwiches only. Whole sandwiches only.
New Dunked Ultimate Chicken Sandwiches. This is how you Sonic. For a limited time, only at participating Sonic drive-ins.
The mates are back together once again at Outback Steakhouse. Steak and lobster, the best mates together again. Try the juicy lobster paired with the tender signature steak from Outback Steakhouse. The tender juicy filet and a steamed lobster tail. Now here's a word from one of my mates.
Hi, this is Ian Encelaco with Outback Steakhouse here in Jackson. I'm sure that you know we're a national chain, but did you know that I'm from Jackson and a JCM graduate? Much of my staff and I have been together here at Outback Steakhouse for 15 years. Yes, we are a national company, but here in Jackson, it's all about local. Our pledge, it's always fresh in the Outback. I'd like to thank you, Jackson, for your help in making Outback Steakhouse in Jackson the shining star of the Outback family. And I personally invite you to have dinner with us at Outback Steakhouse, Jackson, Tennessee, 194 Stonebrook Place, or take advantage of curbside takeaway to go by calling 664-9000. That's 664-9000 or OutbackSteakhouse.com. Outback Steakhouse in Jackson. No rules, just right.
First in news, first in sports, the NFL and Monday Night Football, only on News Talk 101.5 FM.
Gets it. Well, Richard and Aaron Barber's down in the field. Maybe this time he has his earpiece in to see if he's trying to get our attention, he starts banging on the mic. We've been trying to get his attention for 30 minutes. He had Tam Val with him and wouldn't go to it. But now he's got Shane Jacobs, the head coach for Peabody, the award-winning head coach. Let's go down to the narrator.
What's up, fellas? Down here with Coach Shane Jacobs. Coach, man, you're going to have to tell us something. We watched this first half. Defensively, it's kind of what we thought it would be. Offensively, you couldn't get anything going. You went to the halftime down 7-0.
Yeah, we, the first half, we come out the very first possession and just give the ball away on the very first play of the game. And that's very uncharacteristic of us to turn the ball over. And I think after that, we just sort of got shell-shocked, got flat. And, we talked about it at halftime. We said, guys, we've got two options. We can lay down. We feel sorry for ourselves and lay down, and this whole season can end, or we can have a little bit of resolve in ourselves and pull together as a team and go find a way to win the second half. And it may be ugly the way we get to do it, but as long as everybody believes, as long as everybody plays to their capability, plays as hard as they can, we'll be fine. And I think that everybody sort of, bought into that and understood that, that we just weren't playing well. We just had to get it going. And fortunately, we finally did. And of course, Jarrell and Jaquez and Cooper got us going. But, I'll tell you, the whole first half, I thought the offensive line was playing well up front. We just doing uncharacteristic things that, that very disappointed in. But we got it worked out in the second half and fortunately came out with a win.
Well, and you scored like the first 4 or 5 possessions of the second half. A lot of that in the third quarter, it looked like you were coming off tackle. You found something there. Was something y'all, your coaching staff, y'all identified that was going to work there?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Taylor and Coach Driggers got in there at halftime and got the offensive line together and made a few tweaks and sort of found a honey hole where we could run it right there, C-gap to the strong side. And, they got a linebacker there. Coleman Addison's a heck of a player, number 40. And so we had to formation him and get him to the opposite side of the play and find better ways to make sure we got a hat on him. And so that was, a few of the schematic adjustments we made. But, we just really made some attitude adjustments, really in the second half, And one thing about this that's difficult is, our kids here all week long, if we win, who do we play? If we play this team or we're going to be at home, and, everybody's already talking about the third round because of the score the last time. And as much as we talked about, coming in and being ready to play tonight, you know, it took us losing 7-0 at the halftime to convince these guys there's no next week if we don't figure out that we're playing TCA tonight. So, you know, I hope that our town and everybody's really behind this third-round game and understands we got to take these things one game at a time. And I think our kids understand that. You know, we had quite the scare tonight. So, surely, you know, we're playing the defending state champions next week, Union City. I would think surely no way there's a letdown next week. We're ready to go.
You talked about talking to him at the halftime. You just seemed more physical in the second half.
Well, we have a physical group, and I think that we came out and well, you know, credit to TCA, and I don't want to act like everything was on us. TCA came out through the kitchen sink at us. They got reverse passes. They got a lot of stuff that they had put in this week that we hadn't seen, and it did sort of get us off balance. So, you know, you have to credit TCA for a great game plan, throwing it all out there, playing like they had nothing to lose, and I felt like we played like we had everything to lose, and we played extremely tight. And so, you know, we told them at halftime, we said, guys, everything that they've practiced this week they have run. I can promise you they don't have another trick play up their sleeve. They ran about 4 or 5 different trick plays in the first half. I said, we've seen everything that they've got. Now we can settle down and play ball. Now they have to play football. Now they can't run some of that stuff anymore. If they do, at least we've seen it. So I think that kind of settled them down, got them comfortable. And, you know, when you're comfortable, you kind of start playing more to your personality, and it allows you to be more physical.
Now let's move on to the third round. You mentioned Union City. Union City over the last few years has become a big rivalry game because of the success of both programs.
Yeah, Union City comes in running that triple option, very physical offense, and you know we did a great job the first time we played them in week 3 of matching that physicality. And but we were throwing the ball well week 3 too. Cooper was 11 out of 13 that night for 200-something yards and 3 or 4 touchdowns. So we're going to have to find some answers in the pass game moving forward. We're not as efficient in the pass game obviously as we'd like, and obviously as capable as we're being. So moving forward, we got to find some answers in the pass game, continue to run the ball as well as we have. But, you know, main thing, continue playing great defense. And I know that we'll be ready to go defensively next week, and we'll match the physicality, but we're going to have to do better in the throw game.
Coach Shane Jacobs, congratulations on a big win tonight. We'll catch you next week for the third round with Union City.
Okay, thanks a lot for being here, guys.
Shane Jacobs, head coach, Trenton Peabody, the Tide roll 41-7 tonight over Trinity Christian Academy. Union City will be here next week in the third round of the state playoffs. Holy moly. Jonathan, I think we may have, is Richard on the line? Was he calling in? Richard Mulligan, who called the Northside game. Northside's big win over Montgomery Central. Let's see if we can pick Richard up. Hey, Rich, you with us tonight?
Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Richard from Jackson Public.
Richard? Mulligan.
Yeah.
Yes. Tell us what happened. An exciting game. Northside wins it tonight at Thurman Reynolds Stadium. Richard called the game at WNWS.com. Rich, walk us through it. Northside advancing to the third round.